1. Consider the following statements regarding public distribution system (PDS). 1. The central government takes the responsibility for procurement, storage, transportation, and bulk allocation of food grains at subsidized prices. 2. The responsibility of distribution to consumers, including target groups, through a network of fair price shops (FPSs), rests with the state governments. 3. The concept of a buffer stock was first introduced during the second five-year plan. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution: B. Statement 3 is incorrect. PDS is operated under the joint responsibility of the central and state governments. The central government takes the responsibility for procurement, storage, transportation, and bulk allocation of food grains at subsidized prices. The responsibility of distribution to consumers, including target groups, through a network of various fair price shops (FPSs), rests with the state governments. The buffer stock provides the basic and most flexible instrument for moderating short-term effects of supply or production shortfalls. The concept of a buffer stock was first introduced during the fourth five-year plan, 1969-74, and a buffer stock of 5 million tons of food grains was envisaged. The buffer stock figures are normally reviewed after every 5 years. 2. Consider the following statements. 1. India is among the top 5 producer and consumer of natural rubber in the world. 2. In India, majority of the natural rubber is cultivated in northeastern states. 3. Natural rubber is preferred over synthetic rubber due to its high tensile strength along with their resistance. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution: B. Statement 2 is incorrect. 57. Source: 3. Consider the following statements regarding Unified Portal for Agricultural Statistics. 1. The UPAT portal is part of the digital public infrastructure for agriculture. 2. The portal aims to provide real-time, reliable, and standardized information, thereby facilitating more responsive and efficient agricultural policies. 3. It aims to enhance data-driven decision-making for policymakers, researchers, and stakeholders in the agriculture domain. Which of the above statements are correct? A. 1, 2. B. 1, 3. C. 2, 3. D. 1, 2, 3. Solution: D. The Unified Portal for Agricultural Statistics UPAT portal was officially launched recently. The portal aims to provide real-time, reliable, and standardized information, empowering stakeholders and facilitating more responsive and efficient agricultural policies. The UPAT portal is part of the digital public infrastructure for agriculture, focusing on harnessing data for growth, transparency, and agility in India's agriculture sector. 58. This initiative aligns with the government's principles and aims to enhance data-driven decision-making for policymakers, researchers, and stakeholders in the agriculture domain. Source: 4. Consider the following statements regarding the newly launched Kisan Rin Portal and Weather Information Network Data Systems (WINS) portal. 1. The Kisan Rin Portal is not part of the Kisan Credit Card (KCC) scheme. 2. The Kisan Rin Portal acts as a digital platform that offers a comprehensive view of farmer data on agriculture credit. 3. WINS leverages advanced weather data analytics to provide actionable insights for informed weather-related decisions in agriculture. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution: B. Statement 1 is incorrect. The Indian government has launched the Kisan Rin Portal as part of the Kisan Credit Card (KCC) scheme to revolutionize the agriculture sector. Additionally, the government launched the Weather Information Network Data Systems (WINS) portal and initiated a door-to-door KCC campaign. The Kisan Rin digital platform will offer a comprehensive view of farmer data, scheme utilization progress, loan disbursement specifics, and interest subvention claims, enhancing integration with banks for more efficient agriculture credit. WINS leverage advanced weather data analytics to provide stakeholders with actionable insights for informed weather-related decisions in agriculture. Source: 5. Consider the following statements regarding the use of mulberry trees in sericulture. 1. Mulberry is a perennial crop with good foliage. 2. Dried mulberry twigs and branches can be used as fuel in place of firewood. 3. Mulberry being a deep-rooted plant cannot be raised on hill slopes. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution: B. Statement 3 is incorrect. Fill circle is a perennial crop with good foliage and root spread. Mulberry contributes to soil conservation and provides green cover. Fill circle waste from silkworm rearing can be recycled as inputs to garden. Fill circle dried mulberry twigs and branches are used as fuel in place of firewood and therefore reduce the pressure on vegetation. Forest: 59. Fill circle being a labor-intensive and predominantly agro-based activity, involvement of smoke-emitting machineries minimal. Fill circle developmental programs initiated for mulberry plantation are mainly in upland areas where unused. Cultivable land is made productive. Fill circle mulberry can also be cultivated as intercrop with numerous plantations. Fill circle mulberry being a deep-rooted perennial plant can be raised in vacant lands, in slopes and watershed areas. 6. Consider the following statements regarding drip method of irrigation (DMI). 1. Unlike flood method of irrigation (FMI), the drip method supplies water directly to the root zone of a crop through a network of 5 centimeters. 2. DMI reduces leaching of water and nutrients below the root zone. 3. It prevents disease by minimizing water contact with the leaves, stems, and fruit of plants. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution:
C.
Solution: C. Unlike flood method of irrigation Unlike flood method of irrigation (FMI), the drip method (DMI) supplies Unlike flood method of irrigation (FMI), the drip method Unlike flood method of irrigation (FMI), the drip method (DMI) supplies water directly to the Unlike flood method of irrigation (FMI), the drip method (DMI) supplies water directly to the root zone of a crop through a network of 5 centimeters. Since it supplies water directly to the crop, rather than the land around, water losses occurring through evaporation and distribution are significantly reduced. Drip irrigation is most suitable for row crops, vegetables, soft fruit, tree and vine crops. Other benefits: fill circle prevents disease by minimizing water contact with the leaves, stems, and fruit of plants. Fill circle allows the rows between plants to remain dry, improving access and reducing weed growth. Fill circle saves. Solution: C. Unlike flood method of irrigation (FMI), the drip method (DMI) supplies water directly to the root zone of a crop through a network. C. All 3. 1. Unlike flood method of irrigation (FMI), the drip method supplies water directly to the root zone of a crop through a network of 5 centimeters. 2. DMI reduces leaching of water and nutrients below the root zone. 3. It prevents disease by minimizing water contact with the leaves, stems, and fruit of plants. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution: C. Unlike flood method of irrigation (FMI), the drip method (DMI) supplies water directly to the root zone of a crop through a network of 5 centimeters. Since it supplies water directly to the crop, rather than the land around, water losses occurring through evaporation and distribution are significantly reduced. Drip irrigation is most suitable for row crops, vegetables, soft fruit, tree and vine crops. Other benefits: fill circle prevents disease by minimizing water contact with the leaves, stems, and fruit of plants. Fill circle allows the rows between plants to remain dry, improving access and reducing weed growth. Fill circle saves time, money, and water because the system is so efficient. Fill circle decreases labor. Fill circle increases effectiveness on uneven ground. Fill circle reduces leaching of water and nutrients below the root zone. 7. The government established Small Farmers Agri-Business Consortium (SFAC) with an objective to 1. Help the formation and growth of farmer-producer organizations (FPOs), farmer-producer companies (FPCs). 2. Facilitate agri-business ventures by catalyzing private investment. 3. Implement the National Agriculture Market (NAM) electronic trading platform. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. C. The government established Small Farmers Agri-Business Consortium (SFAC) as a society in January 1994 to facilitate agri-business ventures by catalyzing private investment through venture capital assistance (VCA) scheme in close association with financial institutions. SFAC is an autonomous society promoted by Department of Agriculture, Cooperation and Farmers Welfare, Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Government of India. 60. It is registered under Societies Registration Act 1860. The role of state SFACs is to aggressively promote agribusiness project development in their respective states. The main functions of SFAC are: O. Promotion of development of small agribusiness through VCA scheme. O. Helping formation and growth of farmer-producer organizations, FPOs, farmer-producer companies, FPCs. O. Improving availability of working capital and development of business activities of FPOs, FPCs through equity grant and credit guarantee fund scheme. O. Implementation of National Agriculture Market (NAM) electronic trading platform. 10. Defense and security. 1. MATSYA 6000, recently seen in news is A. Medium tactical transport aircraft. B. Indigenously developed anti-tank mine. C. Domestically developed submersible. D. Armored recovery vehicle solution. C. Indian scientists are gearing up for an ambitious project called Samudrayan, which involves sending 3 people 6,000 meters underwater in a domestically developed submersible named Matsya 6000. This mission aims to explore the ocean depths of precious metals and minerals such as cobalt, nickel, and manganese. Source. 2. Recently the Indian Defense Ministry has approved the acquisition of a regiment of Pralay missiles for deployment along the line of actual control in the line of control. Consider the following statements regarding Pralay missiles. 1. Pralay has a strike range of 150 to 500 kilometers and can carry different types of warheads. 2. It is developed by the Defense Research and Development Organization (DRDO). 3. It has advanced technology to counter interceptor missiles. 4. It cannot alter its trajectory mid-flight. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. Only 3. D. All 4. Solution. C. Statement 4 is incorrect. About Pralay. Pralay has a strike range of 150 to 500 kilometers and can carry a conventional warhead of 350 kilograms to 700 kilograms. It is highly versatile, capable of carrying different types of warheads, and features advanced technology to counter interceptor missiles. It can alter its trajectory mid-flight and is powered by a solid propellant rocket motor. Developed by the Defense Research and Development Organization (DRDO). 61. Source. 3. Operation Subject, that was recently in news, was conducted by Indian Army. B. Indian Air Force. C. Indian Coast Guard. D. None of the above. Solution. C. The Indian Coast Guard conducted a coastal security drill named Operation Subject along the west coast. This drill aimed to involve all stakeholders in the coastal security system, reaffirm the effectiveness of coastal security measures, and raise awareness among fishermen at sea. To enhance coastal security, several measures have been implemented, including the issuance of biometric cards for fishermen, color coding of fishing boats according to each state, manned fish landing centers, access control at entry, exit points, coastal mapping, allocation of specific marine band frequencies for security agencies, and training of marine police personnel by the Indian Coast Guard. Source. 4. Consider the following statements regarding National Investigation Agency (NIA). 1. The NIA is a non-statutory body, whose mandate is to investigate all the offences affecting the sovereignty, security and integrity of India. 2. It does not investigate offences under statutory laws that have been enacted primarily in relation to international treaties. 3. NIA operations extend to whole of India and Indian citizens outside the country. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. A. Only statement 3 is correct. What is the NIA? It is a central agency mandated to investigate all the offences affecting the sovereignty, security and integrity of India, friendly relations with foreign states, and the offences under the statutory laws enacted to implement international treaties, agreements, conventions and resolutions of the United Nations, its agencies and other international organizations. These include terror acts and their possible links with crimes like smuggling of arms, drugs and fake Indian currency and infiltration from across the borders. The agency has the power to search, seize, arrest and prosecute those involved in such offences. NIA came into being in the wake of the 26/11 Mumbai terror attack. The agency came into existence with the enactment of the National Investigation Agency Act 2008 and started its functioning in 2009. How wide is NIA's jurisdiction? The law under which the agency operates extends to the whole of India and also applies to Indian citizens outside the country, persons in the service of the government wherever they are posted, persons on ships and aircraft registered in India wherever they may be, persons who commit a scheduled offence beyond India against the Indian citizen or affecting the interest of India. 62. 5. Consider the following statements regarding Interpol. 1. Interpol is a supranational law enforcement agency whose mandate covers virtually every kind of crime, including crimes against humanity, drug trafficking, intellectual property infringement, and white-collar crime. 2. The General Assembly is Interpol's supreme governing body, comprising representatives from each of the member countries. 3. Intelligence Bureau (IB) is the designated nodal body for the Interpol in India. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. A. Only statement 2 is correct. The International Criminal Police Organization, commonly known as Interpol, is an international organization that facilitates worldwide police cooperation and crime control. Interpol is not a supranational law enforcement agency and has no agents with arresting powers. Instead, it is an international organization that functions as a network of law enforcement agencies from different countries. Headquartered in Lyon, France, it is the world's largest international police organization, with 7 regional bureaus worldwide and a national central bureau in all 195 member states. Interpol provides investigative support, expertise, and training to law enforcement worldwide, focusing on 3 major areas of transnational crime, terrorism, cybercrime, and organized crime. Its broad mandate covers virtually every kind of crime, including crimes against humanity, child pornography, drug trafficking and production, political corruption, intellectual property infringement, and white-collar crime. The agency also facilitates cooperation among national law enforcement institutions through criminal databases and communications networks. What is the Interpol General Assembly? It is Interpol's supreme governing body and comprises representatives from all its member countries. The Assembly also elects the members of the Interpol Executive Committee, the governing body which provides guidance and direction in between sessions of the Assembly. The CBI is the designated nodal body for the Interpol in India. It works in close coordination with the Interpol and other member countries for the sharing of inputs related to transnational crimes and persons wanted by enforcement agencies across the world. 63. 11. Maps places. 1. Libya is bordered by 1. Egypt. 2. Mediterranean Sea. 3. Chad. 4. Niger. 5. Let's see how many of the above options are correct. A. Only 2. B. Only 3. C. Only 4. D. All 5. Solution C. Option 5 is incorrect. Libya is a country in the Maghreb region of North Africa. It is bordered by the Mediterranean Sea to the north, Egypt to the east, Sudan to the southeast, Chad to the south, Niger to the southwest, Algeria to the west, and Tunisia to the northwest. 2. The Konkan belt extends throughout the coasts of 1. Maharashtra. 2. Kerala. 3. Karnataka. 4. Goa. 5. Tamil Nadu. Select the correct answer code. A. 2, 3, 5. B. 1, 3, 4. C. 2, 3, 4, 5. D. 1, 2, 3, 4. Solution B. About the Konkan belt. It is a coastal plain in western India that extends along the western coasts of Maharashtra, Goa, and Karnataka. The Konkan is a narrow lowland that's only about 50 kilometers wide. It's bounded by the Western Ghats. 64. Mountain range to the east, the Arabian Sea to the west, the Daman-Ganga river to the north, and the river Aghanashini to the south. Source. 3. Consider the following statements regarding Rwanda. 1. Rwanda is a landlocked country in the Great Rift Valley of Central Africa. 2. Equator passes through Rwanda. 3. Kenya and Tanzania borders Rwanda. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution A. Only statement 1 is correct. Rwanda is a landlocked country in the Great Rift Valley of Central Africa, where the African Great Lakes region and Southeast Africa converge. Located a few degrees south of the equator, Rwanda is bordered by Uganda, Tanzania, Burundi, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo. 65. 4. Caspian Sea is bordered by A. Russia, Kazakhstan, Afghanistan and Azerbaijan. B. Russia, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan and Iran. C. Russia, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan and Iran. D. Russia, Kazakhstan, Afghanistan and Iran. Solution C. Caspian Sea is bordered by following countries. 5. Which of the following countries shares border with Arabian Sea? 1. Oman. 2. Saudi Arabia. 3. Pakistan. 4. Yemen. How many of the above options are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. Only 3. D. All 4. Solution C. 66. Option 2 is incorrect. 6. Consider the following statements regarding Yalang Tsangpo River. 1. It originates at Rongbuk Glacier in southern Tibet. 2. The river forms the world's deepest canyon, Yalang Tsangpo Grand Canyon. 3. The river passes into the state of Arunachal Pradesh. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution B. Statement 1 is incorrect. The Yalang Tsangpo is the upper stream of the Brahmaputra River located in the Tibet Autonomous Region, China. It is the longest river of Tibet. Originating at Angsi Glacier in western Tibet, southeast of Mount Kailash and Lake Manasarovar, it later forms the South Tibet Valley and Yalang Tsangpo Grand Canyon before passing into the state of Arunachal Pradesh, India. Downstream from Arunachal Pradesh, the river becomes far wider and is called the Shiang. After reaching Assam, the river is known as Brahmaputra. From Assam, the river enters Bangladesh. When leaving the Tibetan plateau, the river forms the world's largest and deepest canyon, Yalang Tsangpo Grand Canyon. 7. Which of the following rivers of Africa drains into the Mediterranean Sea? A. Congo River. B. Niger River. C. Orange River. D. Nile River. Solution D. 67. The Nile River empties into the Mediterranean Sea in northern Egypt. 8. Which of the following nations in the Middle East are landlocked? 1. Turkey. 2. Syria. 3. Iraq. 4. Iran. Select the correct answer code. A. 1, 2, 3. B. 1, 3, 4. C. 2, 3, 4. D. None of the above. Solution D. 9. Consider the following statements. 1. Strait of Gibraltar can be accessed through a narrow passage via Ukraine. 2. Romania, Poland and Belarus share land boundary with Ukraine. 3. Ukraine is bordered by both Black Sea and Mediterranean Sea. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution A. Only statement 2 is correct. Ukraine is bordered by Russia to the east and northeast, Belarus to the northwest, Poland and Slovakia to the west, Hungary, Romania, and Moldova to the southwest, and the Black Sea and Sea of Azov to the south and southeast, respectively. 68. Strait of Gibraltar is a narrow strait that connects the Atlantic Ocean to the Mediterranean Sea and separates Gibraltar and Peninsular Spain in Europe from Morocco and Ceuta, Spain, in Africa. It is far away from Ukraine. 69. Insta Current Affairs Quiz. November 2023. www.insightsonindia.com INSIGHTSIAS. Table of Contents. 1. Economy. 2. 2. Ecology and Environment. 11. 3. Geography. 25. 4. Government schemes and programs. 34. 5. Science and technology. 43. 6. International relations and organizations. 53. 7. Polity. 58. 8. History, art and culture. 59. 9. Agriculture. 63. 10. Defense and security. 67. 11. Reports and indices. 68. 12. Maps, places. 69. 13. Miscellaneous. 71. 1. 1. Economy. 1. Consider the following statements. 1. A company or business is said to be over-leveraged if it has unsustainably high debt against its operating cash flows and equity. 2. An over-leveraged company would find it difficult to make interest and principal repayments to its creditors. 3. An over-leveraged company will always become bankrupt. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution B. Statement 3 is incorrect. A company or business is said to be over-leveraged if it has unsustainably high debt against its operating cash flows and equity. Such a company would find it difficult to make interest and principal repayments to its creditors and may struggle to meet its operating expenses as well. In the latter case, the company may be forced to borrow even more just to keep going, and thus enter a vicious cycle. This situation can ultimately lead to the company going bankrupt. 2. Which of the following All India Financial Institutions AIFIs are under RBI regulation? 1. Export-Import Bank of India EXIM Bank. 2. National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development NABARD. 3. National Bank for Financing Infrastructure and Development NABFID. 4. National Housing Bank NHB. 5. Small Industries Development Bank of India SIDBI. How many of the above options are correct? A. Only 2. B. Only 3. C. Only 4. D. All 5. Solution D. The Reserve Bank of India (RBI) has introduced new norms based on the Basel III Capital Framework for all India financial institutions (AIFIs), which will take effect from April 2024. India has 5 AIFIs under RBI regulation: Export-Import Bank of India (EXIM Bank), National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development (NABARD), National Bank for Financing Infrastructure and Development (NABFID), National Housing Bank (NHB), and Small Industries Development Bank of India (SIDBI). The key provisions of the new norms are as follows. Capital adequacy: AIFIs will be required to maintain a minimum total capital of 9% by April 2024. This includes a minimum Tier 1 capital of 7% and Common Equity Tier 1 (CET1) capital of 5.5%. Consolidation of financial subsidiaries: all financial subsidiaries, except those involved in insurance and non-financial activities, both regulated and unregulated, must be fully consolidated for the purpose of capital adequacy. Investment caps: the RBI has imposed limits on AFI's investments in capital instruments of banking, financial, and insurance entities, capping them at 10% of their capital funds. Equity investment limits: AFI's equity investment in a single entity cannot exceed 49% of the equity of the investee. 2. Capital planning and risk management: AIFIs are advised to focus on effective and efficient capital planning and long-term capital maintenance. Source: 3. Consider the following statements regarding Basel III norms. 1. Basel III norms were adopted by financial regulators to improve the banking sector's ability to absorb shocks arising from financial and economic stress. 2. It was developed by International Monetary Fund (IMF) in the aftermath of the financial crisis of 2007. 08. 3. It mandates banks to maintain a capital to risk-weighted assets (CRAR) of at least 25%. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution: A. Only statement 1 is correct. Basel III norms were adopted by financial regulators to improve the banking sector's ability to absorb shocks arising from financial and economic stress. It was developed by the Basel Committee on Banking Supervision in the aftermath of the financial crisis of 2007-08. It mandates banks to maintain a CAR or capital to risk-weighted assets (CRAR) of at least 8%. CRAR is a ratio that compares the value of a bank's capital or net worth against the value of its various assets weighted according to risk. 4. The Reserve Bank of India (RBI) considers which of the following situations is willful default. 1. Borrower fails to meet repayment obligations despite having the capacity to do so. 2. Diverting the loan for purposes other than its intended use. 3. Disposing of assets securing a term loan without informing the lender. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution: C. The RBI defines a willful default as a situation where a borrower fails to meet repayment obligations despite having the capacity to do so, diverting the loan for purposes other than its intended use, siphoning off funds that are no longer available in other forms, or disposing of assets securing a term loan without informing the lender. 5. Which of the following can aid furthering the government's objective of financial inclusion? 1. Dispersal of interest-free loans to economically weaker section. 2. Promoting savings by opening zero-balance bank account. 3. Affordable payment and remittance services. 4. Financial advice to the disadvantaged groups. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. Only 3. D. All 4. 3. Solution: D. Financial inclusion means that individuals and businesses have access to useful and affordable financial products and services that meet their needs, transactions, payments, savings, credit and insurance, delivered in a responsible and sustainable way. 6. How would you distinguish between the revenue and capital receipts of the government? 1. Revenue receipts are non-redeemable unlike certain capital receipts. 2. Capital receipts are always debt-creating unlike revenue receipts. Which of the above statements are correct? A. 1 only. B. 2 only. C. Both 1 and 2. D. Neither 1 nor 2. Solution: A. The main difference between revenue receipts and capital receipts is that in the case of revenue receipts, government is under no future obligation to return the amount, i.e., they are non-redeemable. But in case of capital receipts, which are borrowings, government is under obligation to return the amount along with interest. Capital receipts may be debt-creating or non-debt-creating. Examples of debt-creating receipts are net borrowing by government at home, loans received from foreign governments, borrowing from RBI. Examples of non-debt capital receipts are recovery of loans, proceeds from sale of public enterprises, i.e., disinvestment, etc. These do not give rise to debt. 7. Which of the following are the types of intellectual property rights? 1. Patents. 2. Copyrights. 3. Trademarks. 4. Trade secrets. 5. Industrial designs. How many of the above options are correct? A. Only 2. B. Only 3. C. Only 4. D. All 5. Solution: D. 4. A. Consider the following statements. 1. When the value of the currency is made cheaper by the central bank, it is called devaluation of the currency, and when the market forces bring down the value of the currency due to falling demand, it is called depreciation of the currency. 2. In the balance of payments, the movements of money without exchange for goods or services and charities are part of capital account. Which of the above statements are incorrect? A. 1 only. B. 2 only. C. Both 1 and 2. D. Neither 1 nor 2. Solution: B. Exchange rate of a currency may be fixed by a central bank or left to the market forces of demand and supply. When the value is changed by the central bank, it is called devaluation. If market forces bring down the value due to demand falling behind supply of the currency, it leads to depreciation. In the balance of payments, the movements of money without exchange for goods or services called remittances, and charities are part of current account. 9. Consider the following statements regarding credit information bureaus. 1. They maintain credit information of borrowers which can be accessed by banks and other lending institutions. 2. They collect information of borrowers from credit card companies and non-bank financial institutions. 3. The lending decision of banks and finance companies are not dependent on the rating given by the credit bureaus. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution: B. Statement 3 is incorrect. What are credit information bureaus? 5. They maintain credit information of borrowers, including individuals, corporate, SMEs, which can be accessed by banks and other lending institutions. They collect information from a variety of credit providers including banks, credit card companies and non-bank financial institutions. They rate the borrowers in a scale of 300 to 900 with 900 being the highest rating. Banks and finance companies normally take decision on the rating given by the credit bureaus. If the borrower has a rating of over 800, he has a good chance to get a loan or credit card easily and at a lower interest rate. If the borrower defaults, his rating will come down. When the rating declines below 500, chances of getting low interest rates and even loans or cards also decline accordingly. 10. Consider the following statements. 1. Social bonds are a type of financial instrument designed to fund projects that address social and environmental challenges. 2. In India, social bonds can be issued only by government agencies. 3. They are not listed on the BSE or NSE. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. A. Only statement 1 is correct. The National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development (NABARD) has successfully raised 1,040.50 crore rupees through a 5-year social bond. The social bonds issued by NABARD have received AAA ratings from CRISIL and ICRA, and they will be listed on the BSE, Bombay Stock Exchange. Social bonds are a type of financial instrument or investment vehicle issued by governments, companies, or organizations to raise capital for projects or initiatives with a specific social or environmental purpose. These bonds are typically designed to fund projects that have a positive impact on society or address social and environmental challenges. Source. 11. Consider the following statements regarding money market. 1. The money market provides investment avenues of short-term tenor. 2. The tenor of the transactions for term money market is from 2 days to 14 days. 3. Call money market is a market for uncollateralized lending and borrowing of funds. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. B. Statement 2 is incorrect. What is money market? While the G-Sex market generally caters to the investors with a long-term investment horizon, the money market provides investment avenues of short-term tenor. Money market transactions are generally used for funding the transactions in other markets including G-Sex market and meeting short-term liquidity. 6. Mismatches. By definition, money market is for a maximum tenor of 1 year. Within the 1 year, depending upon the tenors, money market is classified into overnight market, the tenor of transactions is 1 working day. Notice money market, the tenor of the transactions is from 2 days to 14 days. Term money market, the tenor of the transactions is from 15 days to 1 year. What are the different money market instruments? Money market instruments include call money, repos, T-bills, cash management bills, commercial paper, certificate of deposit and collateralized borrowing and lending obligations, CBLO. Call money market. Call money market is a market for uncollateralized lending and borrowing of funds. This market is predominantly overnight and is open for participation to scheduled commercial banks and the primary dealers. 12. RBI has around $530 billion of forex reserves. It is acquired by the RBI for which of the following reasons? 1. To enjoy favorable credit rating. 2. To import essentials for economic and social security. 3. To deter speculations. 4. To gain external account security. 5. To defend the rupee when needed. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 2. B. Only 3. C. Only 4. D. All 5. Solution. D. India's foreign exchange forex reserves stand at around $578 billion. It is acquired by the RBI for the following reasons. 1. To defend the rupee when needed. 2. To gain external account security. 3. To enable country to globalize further. 4. To import essentials for economic and social security. 5. To deter speculation. 6. To enjoy favorable rating by sovereign credit rating agencies. 13. Consider the following statements regarding Agreement on Investment Facilitation for Development (IFA). 1. The Agreement on Investment Facilitation for Development (IFA) is a WTO negotiated agreement designed to create a more investor-friendly business environment. 2. It is aimed at liberalizing investment policies and to simplify investment procedures. 3. It covers areas like market access, government procurement and investor-state dispute settlement. ISDS. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. A. Only statement 1 is correct. The Agreement on Investment Facilitation for Development (IFA) is a WTO negotiated agreement designed to create a more investor-friendly business environment by simplifying investment procedures. And 7. Promoting transparency and predictability for foreign direct investment (FDI), particularly in developing and least developed countries. It is meant to create legally binding provisions aimed at facilitating investment flows. What IFA doesn't cover? IFA does not cover areas like market access, investment protection, government procurement, specific subsidies, or investor-state dispute settlement (ISDS). In essence, the IFA is not aimed at liberalizing investment policies. Its objective is to simplify investment procedures. Source. 14. Consider the following statements regarding investment facilitation and investment promotion. 1. Investment promotion focuses on presenting a location as an attractive investment destination. 2. Investment facilitation aims to simplify the process for foreign investors to establish or expand their businesses by addressing practical challenges they may face. Which of the above statements are correct? A. 1 only. B. 2 only. C. Both 1 and 2. D. Neither 1 nor 2. Solution. C. Investment facilitation and investment promotion. The difference between investment facilitation and investment promotion is that promotion focuses on presenting a location as an attractive investment destination, while facilitation aims to simplify the process for foreign investors to establish or expand their businesses by addressing practical challenges they may face. 15. Consider the following statements regarding World Trade Organization (WTO). 1. World Trade Organization (WTO) is a member-driven, consensus-based intergovernmental organization that regulates and facilitates international trade between nations. 2. It officially began operations on January 1, 1995, in accordance with the 1994 Marrakesh Agreement. 3. WTO's agreement on TRIPS does not promote intellectual property rights enforcement. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. B. Statement 3 is incorrect. World Trade Organization (WTO) is a member-driven, consensus-based intergovernmental organization that regulates and facilitates international trade between nations. It officially began operations on January 1, 1995, in accordance with the 1994 Marrakesh Agreement. WTO's agreement on TRIPS promotes IP rights enforcement. 16. Vostro account, sometimes seen in news, is used in the context of a bank account without any expiry. B. Foreign exchange transactions. C. Zero balance account. D. Providing subsidies to the targeted beneficiaries. 8. Solution. B. A Vostro account is an essential part of correspondent banking in which a foreign bank acts as an agent providing financial services on behalf of a domestic bank. Vostro accounts enable domestic banks to provide international banking services to their clients who have global banking needs. Vostro account services include executing wire transfers, performing foreign exchange transactions, enabling deposits and withdrawals, and expediting international trade. 17. Overheating of an economy can occur when 1. There is high consumption and low savings. 2. Its productive capacity is unable to keep pace with growing aggregate demand. Select the correct answer code. A. 1 only. B. 2 only. C. Both 1 and 2. D. Neither 1 nor 2. Solution. C. Overheating of an economy occurs when its productive capacity is unable to keep pace with growing aggregate demand, leading to inflation. When there is excess demand and low supply, high consumption and low savings can lead to a situation where there is a shortage of investable capital. The economy is unable to supply demanded goods and prices start increases. This can be caused due to additional liquidity pumped in the system by the central bank or government. When people have more money in the short term, they can demand more goods and services, causing the economy to heat up in the short term until the demand is satisfied. 18. Consider the following statements. 1. Indexation means adjusting the cost of mutual funds after taking into account inflation in the redemption cost. 2. SEBI provides the benefit of indexation for calculation of long-term capital gains (LTCG) on debt mutual funds. Which of the above statements are incorrect? A. 1 only. B. 2 only. C. Both 1 and 2. D. Neither 1 nor 2. Solution. B. Indexation means adjusting the cost of funds after taking into account inflation in the redemption cost. It helps to calculate the new value of investment after considering inflation over the same period. The benefit of indexation for calculation of LTCG on debt mutual funds is not available for investments made on or after April 1, 2023, in those debt mutual fund schemes where less than 35% of the total proceeds is invested in equity shares of domestic companies. These investments will now be taxed at income tax rates applicable to your income slab. This will bring investments in debt mutual funds at par with investments in bank fixed deposits. 19. Consider the following statements regarding IMF bailouts. 1. Countries seek IMF bailouts when they are facing macroeconomic risks, currency crises and need assistance to meet external debt obligations. 9. 2. IMF bailout includes lending only in the form of loans and the countries have to pay them back. 3. Conditions laid down for a country seeking financial assistance from the IMF could include structural reforms, such as fiscal transparency, tax reforms and reforms in state-owned enterprises. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. B. Statement 2 is incorrect. In a general sense, a bailout means extending support to an entity facing a threat of bankruptcy. Countries seek IMF bailouts when they are facing macroeconomic risks, currency crises and need assistance to meet external debt obligations, to buy essential imports and push the exchange value of their currencies. How is an IMF bailout provided? It can be executed in the form of loans, cash, bonds, or stock purchases. The lending is done through programs designed according to purpose. According to the IMF, these include standby arrangement, standby credit facility, extended fund facility, extended credit facility, rapid financing instrument, rapid credit facility, flexible credit line, short-term liquidity line, precaution and liquidity line, resilience and sustainability facility, staff monitored program, policy support instrument and policy coordination instrument. What are the conditions applicable to an IMF bailout? Among the conditions laid down for a country seeking financial assistance from the IMF could be certain structural reforms, such as fiscal transparency, tax reforms and reforms in state-owned enterprises. Critics say these reforms can be tough on the public and may be driven by a geopolitical influence, since they are often decided by officials of various countries. 20. Consider the following statements regarding World Trade Organization, WTO. 1. World Trade Organization, WTO, officially commenced operations on the 1st of January 1995, under the Marrakesh Agreement. 2. The World Trade Organization, WTO, is the only global international organization dealing with the rules of trade between nations. 3. After WTO came into existence, General Agreement on Trade and Tariffs, GATT, ceased to exist. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. B. Statement 3 is incorrect. The World Trade Organization, WTO, is the only global international organization dealing with the rules of trade between nations. World Trade Organization, as an institution, was established in 1995. It replaced General Agreement on Trade and Tariffs, GATT, which was in place since 1946. Phil Circle. The WTO officially commenced on the 1st of January 1995 under the Marrakesh Agreement, signed by 123 nations on the 15th of April 1994. 10. Phil Circle. India has been a member of GATT since 1948, hence it was party to Uruguay round and a founding member of WTO. Phil Circle. While WTO came into existence in 1995, GATT didn't cease to exist. It continues as WTO's umbrella treaty for trade in goods. 2. Ecology and environment. 1. Which of the following are the sources of arsenic contamination? 1. Intense exploitation of groundwater. 2. Weathering of rocks and minerals followed by leaching and runoff. 3. Iron co-precipitation. 4. Burning of coal. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. Only 3. D. All 4. Solution. C. Statement 3 is incorrect. The sources of arsenic are natural or may partly stem from anthropogenic activities like intense exploitation of groundwater, application of fertilizer, burning of coal and leaching of metals from coal ash tailings. Arsenic is introduced into soil and groundwater during weathering of rocks and minerals followed by subsequent leaching and runoff. Among the various arsenic removal technologies, lime softening and iron co-precipitation have been reported to be the most effective. 2. Consider the following statements regarding chinar trees. 1. Chinar trees are large deciduous trees known for their longevity and vibrant foliage. 2. In autumn, its green leaves transform into shades of red, amber, and yellow. 3. It is the state tree of Karnataka. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. B. Statement 3 is incorrect. Chinar trees are large deciduous trees known for their longevity and vibrant foliage. In autumn, its green leaves transform into shades of red, amber, and yellow. The chinar holds cultural significance in Kashmir. Muslim Kashmiris believe it was brought by Islamic preachers from Iran, while Hindu Kashmiris associate it with Hindu goddess Bhavani. It is the state tree of the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. 11. Source. 3. Consider the following statements. 1. UN Framework Convention on Climate Change, UNFCCC, does not explicitly acknowledge the differentiated responsibility of nations to fight climate change. 2. The Warsaw International Mechanism, WIM, for loss and damages, was the first formal acknowledgement of the need to compensate developing countries struck by climate disasters. Which of the above statements are incorrect? A. 1 only. B. 2 only. C. Both 1 and 2. D. Neither 1 nor 2. Solution. A. The UN Framework Convention on Climate Change, UNFCCC, the 1994 international agreement that lays down the broad principles of the global effort to fight climate change, explicitly acknowledges this differentiated responsibility of nations. It makes it very clear that rich countries must provide both the finance and the technology to the developing nations to help them tackle climate change. It was after much struggle that the developing countries and NGOs managed to establish a separate channel on loss and damages at international climate change negotiations. The Warsaw International Mechanism, WIM, for loss and damages, set up in 2013, was the first formal acknowledgement of the need to compensate developing countries struck by climate disasters. 4. Consider the following statements regarding aerosols. 1. Aerosols influence climate by changing the amount of heat that gets in or out of the atmosphere, and by affecting the way clouds form. 2. Some aerosols reflect the sun's rays that beam on them and bounce the rays back out of the atmosphere. 3. Examples of aerosols are fog, forest exudates, particulate air pollutants and smoke. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. C. An aerosol is a suspension of fine solid particles or liquid droplets in air or another gas. Aerosols can be natural or anthropogenic. Examples of natural aerosols are fog, mist, dust, forest exudates and geyser steam. Examples of anthropogenic aerosols are particulate air pollutants and smoke. 12. Aerosols influence climate in two primary ways, by changing the amount of heat that gets in or out of the atmosphere, or by affecting the way clouds form. Some aerosols, like many kinds of dust from ground-up rocks, are light-colored and even a little bit reflective. When the sun's rays beam down on them, they bounce the rays back out of the atmosphere, preventing the heat from ever reaching Earth's surface. 5. The newly designated Virangana Durgavati Tiger Reserve is located in Telangana. B. Andhra Pradesh. C. Karnataka. D. Madhya Pradesh. Solution. D. Madhya Pradesh, known as the Tiger State of India due to its substantial tiger population, has officially designated a new protected area for these magnificent creatures called the Virangana Durgavati Tiger Reserve. This newly established reserve becomes the 7th tiger reserve in the state. Madhya Pradesh has consistently held the title of the Tiger State, with its tiger population increasing from 526 in 2018 to 785 in the 2022 census. The Virangana Durgavati Tiger Reserve incorporates the previously recognized eco-sensitive zone of Noradehi and Virangana Durgavati sanctuaries, along with surrounding forest areas, into the buffer zone. Source. 6. Consider the following statements regarding rhinos. 1. Indian rhinos are Asia's largest species of rhino. 2. In India they are found only in Assam and West Bengal. 3. In 2022 Assam recorded zero poaching of rhinoceros for the first time in nearly 40 years. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. B. Statement 2 is incorrect. 13. 7. Consider the following statements. 1. The coal wetland is located in Kerala. 2. The coal wetland is an internationally important Ramsar site known for its high biodiversity. 3. Kabamba furcutor, also known as pink bloom, is an invasive alien plant species, causing threat to coal wetland. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. C. The coal wetlands in Kerala, an internationally important Ramsar site known for its high biodiversity, are facing a new threat from an invasive alien plant species called Kabamba furcutor, also known as pink bloom. This species, originating from Central and South America, has been introduced to Kerala as an aquarium plant and has now become a menace to the coal fields, alongside existing threats like water hyacinth and Salvinia molesta. 14. Source. 8. Asola Bhatti Wildlife Sanctuary, recently seen in news, is located in Madhya Pradesh. B. New Delhi. C. Andhra Pradesh. D. Arunachal Pradesh. Solution. B. The Wildlife Institute of India, V. Dehradun, is set to conduct a study on the biodiversity of the Asola Bhatti Wildlife Sanctuary in Delhi and formulate a management plan for the sanctuary. The Asola Bhatti Wildlife Sanctuary is part of the Sariska Delhi Wildlife Corridor, supporting leopard movements from Rajasthan to Delhi. Source. 9. Consider the following statements regarding Nilgirita. 1. It is endemic to Western Ghats. 2. It is the state animal of Kerala. 3. Project Nilgirita is an initiative by Wildlife Crime Control Bureau that aims to restore the fragmented habitat of shoaler grasslands where Nilgirita thrives. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 115. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. A. Only statement 1 is correct. Source. 10. Consider the following statements regarding air quality index AQI. 1. AQI is a number that helps the public and the government understand the condition of the air and what subsequent measures are to be taken to combat the situation. 2. The lower the AQI, the worse is the quality of the air. 3. There are different categories of AQI, ranging from good to severe. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 116. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. B. Statement 2 is incorrect. AQI is a number, which is a measure of air quality. The higher the AQI, the worse the air. The color-coded AQI index was launched in India in 2014, and it helps the public and the government understand the condition of the air and what subsequent measures are to be taken to combat the situation. Based on its severity, there are 6 categories of AQI, namely, good, 0 to 50, satisfactory, 50 to 100, moderately polluted, 100 to 200, poor, 200 to 300, very poor, 300 to 400, and severe, 400 to 500. 11. Consider the following statements regarding PET plastic. 1. PET plastic is a common type of plastic used to make bottles, containers, and synthetic fibers. 2. It is known for its transparency, lightweight nature, and recyclability. 3. It produces less product waste due to its resistance to breakage and denting. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. C. PET plastic, or polyethylene terephthalate, is a common type of plastic used to make bottles, containers, and synthetic fibers. It is known for its transparency, lightweight nature, and recyclability. PET is widely used for packaging beverages, food, and personal care products. Source. 1712. Consider the following statements regarding balsams. 1. Balsams are sometimes referred to as touch me not due to their tendency to burst and distribute mature seeds upon touch. 2. Balsams are considered significant indicator species for climate change. 3. In India they are endemic to hilly tracts in northeastern states. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. B. Statement 3 is incorrect. In Munnar, a popular tourist destination in India, balsams, genus impatiens, are in full bloom, providing a delightful visual spectacle. Balsams are sometimes referred to as touch me not due to their tendency to burst and distribute mature seeds upon touch. Balsams are considered significant indicator species for climate change, reflecting alterations in plant populations when climate change occurs. Idukki district, where Munnar is located, is renowned for its diverse range of balsams, earning it the nickname of a balsam paradise among scientists. The high altitude areas surrounding Anamudi, the highest mountain in the Western Ghats, are particularly known for their rich diversity of wild balsams. Source. 13. The Valmiki Tiger Reserve and Kamur Wildlife Sanctuary is located in Arunachal Pradesh. B. Himachal Pradesh. C. Bihar. D. Orissa. Solution. C. Bihar is getting its second tiger reserve in Kamur Wildlife Sanctuary, expected to be established by the end of 2023 or early 2024. The need for a second reserve arose as the Valmiki Tiger Reserve, Bihar's first tiger reserve, reached its capacity to manage tigers. Source. 14. Consider the following statements. 1. Panthera is the genus of large wild cats that include lion, leopard, and jaguar. 2. Tiger is the largest of all wild cats. 3. India is the only country having tiger as its national animal. 18. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. B. Statement 3 is incorrect. Panthera. This is the genus of large wild cats that can roar. Among them, the lion, the leopard, and the jaguar are more closely related, while the other strand has the tiger and the snow leopard. The snow leopard is an exception to the rest of the group in that it can't roar. Tiger is the largest of all wild cats and also the earliest Panthera member to exist. Primarily a forest animal, they range from the Siberian tiger to the Sundarban Delta. The national animal of India, Bangladesh, Malaysia, and South Korea, the tiger was voted the world's favorite animal ahead of the dog in a 2004 Animal Planet Global Online poll. 15. Consider the following statements regarding Sundarbans. 1. Sundarbans is a mangrove area in the delta formed by the confluence of the Ganges, Brahmaputra and Meghna rivers in the Bay of Bengal. 2. Sundarban Reserve Forest of Bangladesh is the largest mangrove forest in the world. 3. It is the only mangrove forest in the world inhabited by tigers. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. C. Sundarbans is a mangrove area in the delta formed by the confluence of the Ganges, Brahmaputra and Meghna rivers in the Bay of Bengal. Sundarban Reserve Forest of Bangladesh is the largest mangrove forest in the world. It contains Sundarbans Tiger Reserve, Sundarban Wetland, Sundarbans National Park and Biosphere Reserve. It is the only mangrove forest in the world inhabited by tigers. Source. 16. Consider the following statements regarding pangolins. 1. Pangolins are among the least trafficked wild mammals globally because of its cultural significance. 2. Indian pangolin is included under India's Schedule 1 of the Wildlife Protection Act and Appendix I of CITES. 3. They play a vital role in ecosystem management by aerating and adding moisture to the soil as well as the succession of plant communities through burrowing. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. B. 19. Statement 1 is incorrect. Pangolins are among the most trafficked wild mammals globally. India is home to 2 species. O. Indian pangolin, N, found across the subcontinent. O. Chinese pangolin, CR, is found across a larger area in South Asia. Both species are included under India's Schedule 1 of the Wildlife Protection Act. Appendix I of CITES, meaning they are most endangered. Ecological importance. They play a vital role in ecosystem management, mostly in aerating and adding moisture to the soil as well as the succession of plant communities through burrowing. Source. 17. Fish mint is a unique herb that has got its name because A. It is known for its fish-like appearance. B. It is grown in areas where fishes are cultivated. C. It is known for its fish-like taste and smell. D. None of the above. Solution. C. Fish mint is a unique herb known for its fish-like taste and smell. Its medicinal properties are well documented in traditional Chinese, Japanese, Ayurvedic, and Siddha medicine. It grows in Southeast Asia, thriving in moist soils and resisting flooding. In India, it goes by various names and is used in salads and vegetables. Fish mint has numerous health benefits, including treating asthma, mitigating fever's impact, preventing infectious oral diseases, and potentially aiding in managing COVID-19 symptoms. It is also linked to weight reduction, improved insulin resistance, and cosmetic applications for irritated skin. 20. Source. 18. Consider the following statements. 1. Leopards can occupy diverse habitats at all altitudes across Africa and Asia. 2. The snow leopard is the state animal of Ladakh and Himachal Pradesh. 3. Snow leopards cannot roar and has the longest tail of all the big cats, which comes in handy for balance while hunting along the cliffs. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. C. Leopard Panthera pardus. The most adaptable of all big cats, they occupy diverse habitats at all altitudes across Africa and Asia. Like black jaguars, melanistic leopards are called black panthers. Snow leopard Panthera encea. The ghost of the mountains, the smoky grey cat lives above the snow line in Central and South Asia. The most elusive of all big cats, it cannot roar and has the longest tail of them all, which comes in handy for balance while hunting along the cliffs and also gives warmth when wrapped around the body. The snow leopard is the state animal of Ladakh and Himachal Pradesh. 19. Consider the following statements regarding the Wildlife Crime Control Bureau. 1. It is a statutory multidisciplinary body established under the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act, 1960. 2. It assists and advises the customs authorities in inspection of the consignments of flora and fauna. 3. It is mandated to establish a centralized wildlife crime data bank. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. B. Statement 1 is incorrect. Wildlife Crime Control Bureau is a statutory multidisciplinary body established by the Government of India under the Ministry of Environment and Forests to combat organized wildlife crime in the country. It was established under the Wildlife Protection Act, 1972. Under Section 38Z of the Wildlife Protection Act, 1972. It is mandated to collect and collate intelligence related to organized wildlife crime activities and to disseminate the same to state and other enforcement agencies for immediate action so as to apprehend the criminals. To establish a centralized wildlife crime data bank. Coordinate actions by various agencies in connection with the enforcement of the provisions of the Act. Assist foreign authorities and international organizations concerned to facilitate coordination and universal action for wildlife crime control. 21. Capacity building of the wildlife crime enforcement agencies for scientific and professional investigation into wildlife crimes and assist state governments to ensure success in prosecutions related to wildlife crimes, and advise the Government of India on issues relating to wildlife crimes having national and international ramifications, relevant policy and laws. It also assists and advises the customs authorities in inspection of the consignments of flora and fauna as per the provisions of Wildlife Protection Act, cites an EXIM policy governing such an item. 20. Which of the following are the advantages of bioremediation technique? 1. It is relatively less expensive than other technologies for disposal of hazardous waste. 2. It can be carried out on site without causing a major disturbance of normal activities. 3. It is useful for the absolute destruction of a wide variety of contaminants. 4. Genetic engineering can be used to create microorganisms specifically designed for bioremediation. Select the correct answer code. A. 1, 2, 4. B. 1, 3, 4. C. 2, 3. D. 1, 2, 3, 4. Solution. D. Bioremediation. Bioremediation is a biotechnical process which abates or cleans up contamination. It is a type of waste management technique which involves the use of organisms to remove or utilize the pollutants from a polluted area. Advantages of bioremediation. Notionally, bioremediation is useful for the absolute destruction of a wide variety of contaminants. A lot of compounds that are legally considered to be hazardous can be changed to harmless products. This eradicates the chance of future liability related with treatment and disposal of contaminated material. Bioremediation can over and over again be carried out on site, often without causing a major disturbance of normal activities. This also gets rid of the need to transport quantities of waste and the possible threats to human health and the environment that can take place during transportation. Bioremediation is also relatively less expensive than other technologies that are used for disposal of hazardous waste. Genetic engineering can be used to create microorganisms specifically designed for bioremediation. Genetically engineered microorganisms, GEMs, have shown potential for bioremediation of soil, groundwater and activated sludge, exhibiting the enhanced degrading capabilities of a wide range of chemical contaminants. 21. Consider the following statements regarding Operation Kachcha. 1. The operation resulted in the recovery of live baby turtles, including other species of turtles. 2. It was conducted by Directorate of Revenue Intelligence (DRI) as part of its efforts to protect the environment and combat illegal wildlife trafficking. Which of the above statements are correct? A. 1 only. B. 2 only. C. Both 1 and 2. D. Neither 1 nor 2. Solution: C. The Directorate of Revenue Intelligence (DRI) conducted a successful operation called Kachcha. 22. This operation resulted in the recovery of the 955 live baby turtles, including species like the Indian tent turtle, Indian flapshell turtle, crown river turtle, black spotted pond turtle, and brown roof turtle. This operation is part of the DRI's ongoing efforts to protect the environment and combat illegal wildlife trafficking. Source: 22. Which of the following countries is considered as tiger range countries of the world? 1. Russia. 2. Myanmar. 3. China. 4. Laos. 5. Indonesia. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 2. B. Only 3. C. Only 4. D. All 5. Solution: D. 13 countries make up the tiger range of the world: Bangladesh, Bhutan, China, Cambodia, India, Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar, Nepal, Russia, Thailand and Vietnam. 13 countries make up the tiger range of the world: Bangladesh, Bhutan, China, Cambodia, India, Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar, Nepal, Russia, Thailand and Vietnam. In 2010, these countries had met and adopted a goal to double their tiger population by 2022. India reached the goal before that year, and, with its current population of about 3,000 tigers, harbors more than 70% of the global wild tiger population. 23. Consider the following statements regarding coral reef breakthrough. 1. Coral reef breakthrough is the initiative of UN Environment. 2. The initiative aims to safeguard at least 125,000 square kilometers of shallow water tropical coral reefs by 2030. 3. It also focuses on doubling the area of coral reefs under effective protection. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution: B. Statement 1 is incorrect. The International Coral Reef Initiative (ICRI), in collaboration with the Global Fund for Coral Reefs (GFCR) and the High Level Climate Champions (HLCC), has launched the Coral Reef Breakthrough. This initiative aims to safeguard at least 125,000 square kilometers of shallow water tropical coral reefs by 2030 through investments of at least $12 billion United States dollars. The Coral Reef Breakthrough will focus on 4 action points: mitigating local drivers of loss, including land-based pollution, coastal development, and overfishing; doubling the area of coral reefs under effective protection by aligning with global coastal protection targets; accelerating restoration efforts to impact 30% of degraded reefs by 2030. 23. Securing investments of at least $12 billion United States dollars by 2030 from public and private sources to conserve and restore coral ecosystems. 24. Consider the following statements regarding Amazon River dolphin. 1. The Amazon River dolphin is a species of toothed whale that lives in the rainforest rivers of South America. 2. They are unique freshwater species, known for their striking pink color. 3. They are known for their high reproductive cycles. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution: B. Statement 3 is incorrect. The Amazon River dolphin, Inia geoffrensis, is a species of toothed whale that lives in the rainforest rivers of South America. They are also known as the Boto, Bufio, or pink river dolphin. Known for their striking pink color, are a unique freshwater species in South America and face vulnerability due to slow reproductive cycles. Source: 25. Consider the following statements regarding olive ridley turtles. 1. Olive ridley turtles are one of the smallest sea turtle species. 2. They are named for the olive green color of their heart-shaped shells. 3. They are found primarily in the tropical regions of the Pacific, Indian, and Atlantic Oceans. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution: C. Olive ridley turtles are one of the smallest sea turtle species. They are named for the olive green color of their heart-shaped shells. They are found primarily in the tropical regions of the Pacific, Indian, and Atlantic Oceans. Protection status: Wildlife Protection Act, 1972, Schedule 1. IUCN Red List, Vulnerable. 24. Sites, Appendix I. Source: 3. Geography. 1. Consider the following statements. 1. El Niño years in India have witnessed extreme heat and below normal rainfall levels during monsoon. 2. La Niña years are known to favor India's northeast monsoon. 3. Intense hurricanes and cyclones have frequently occurred in the Atlantic Ocean and the Bay of Bengal during La Niña years. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution: B. Statement 2 is incorrect. El Niño years in India have witnessed extreme heat and below normal rainfall levels during monsoon, even though El Niño might not be the only factor or even have direct links to them. In 2014, a El Niño year, India received 12% deficient rainfall from June to September. On the other hand, La Niña years are known to favor the Indian summer monsoon. El Niño has been associated with rising heat waves and extreme temperatures. India's northeast monsoon rainfall remains subdued during past La Niña events, but the 2021 monsoon remains an exception in recent years. Intense hurricanes and cyclones have frequently occurred in the Atlantic Ocean and the Bay of Bengal during La Niña years. 2. Consider the following statements regarding carnelian beads. 1. Carnelian beads are mainly found in northeastern region of India. 2. Carnelian is a reddish-brown to orange variety of chalcedony, a type of microcrystalline quartz. 3. They have been used for jewelry and ornamental purposes for centuries. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. 25. Solution: B. Statement 1 is incorrect. Excavations in Kiladi have uncovered 2 carnelian beads, reaffirming the historical trade connections between Tamil Nadu and the western regions of India, specifically Maharashtra and Gujarat. These carnelian beads, normally found in Gujarat and Maharashtra, were discovered within an urn at a burial site in Kontagai during the excavation. Last year, 74 carnelian beads were also unearthed in the same area, further highlighting the trade links between Tamil Nadu and western India. Carnelian beads are small decorative objects made from carnelian gemstones. Carnelian is a reddish-brown to orange variety of chalcedony, a type of microcrystalline quartz. These beads are prized for their vibrant colors and have been used for jewelry and ornamental purposes for centuries. Source. 3. Consider the following statements. 1. India is considered among the top 5 landslide-prone countries globally. 2. In India, more than 50% of the landslides are reported from the northeastern Himalayas. 3. Rainfall variability pattern is the single biggest cause for landslides in India. Which of the above statements are correct? A. 1, 2. B. 1, 3. C. 2, 3. D. 1, 2, 3. Solution. B. India is considered among the top 5 landslide-prone countries globally, where at least one death per 100 square kilometers is reported in a year due to a landslide event. Rainfall variability pattern is the single biggest cause for landslides in the country, with the Himalayas and the Western Ghats remaining highly vulnerable. Excluding snow-covered areas, approximately 12.6% of the country's geographical land area, 0.42 million square kilometers, is prone to landslides. As many as 66.5% of the landslides are reported from the northwestern Himalayas, about 18.8% from the northeastern Himalayas, and about 14.7% from the Western Ghats. 4. Consider the following statements regarding galactic tides. 1. Galactic tides, similar to the tides in Earth's oceans, are caused by gravitational forces within galaxies. 2. They are caused due to interactions between celestial objects like stars and gas clouds. 3. These tidal forces play a significant role in destruction of the galaxies. 4. They impact supermassive black holes located at the centers of galaxies. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. Only 3. D. All 4. Solution. C. Statement 3 is incorrect. Galactic tides, similar to the tides in Earth's oceans but on a much larger scale, are caused by gravitational forces within galaxies, resulting from interactions between celestial objects like stars and gas clouds. 26. These tidal forces play a significant role in shaping the evolution of galaxies. They can alter a galaxy's structure by creating features like tidal tails and bridges, stimulating star formation, and disrupting smaller star systems. Over vast stretches of time, galactic tides also perturb the orbits of stars, leading to long-term changes in the structure of galaxies. Galactic tides even influence how neighboring galaxies interact with each other. Galactic tides also impact supermassive black holes located at the centers of galaxies, resulting in events that alter how these cosmic giants interact with nearby stars. Source. 5. Consider the following statements. 1. It is the ore which is used in manufacturing of aluminium. 2. It is mainly in tertiary deposits and is associated with laterite rocks. 3. It also occurs in the coastal tracts of India. The above statements refer to A. Copper. B. Bauxite. C. Nickel. D. None of the above. Solution. B. Bauxite is the ore which is used in manufacturing of aluminium. Bauxite is found mainly in tertiary deposits and is associated with laterite rocks occurring extensively either on the plateau or hill ranges of peninsular India and also in the coastal tracts of the country. Orissa happens to be the largest producer of bauxite. 6. Consider the following statements regarding critical minerals. 1. Critical minerals are those that are essential for economic development and national security, and the lack of availability of these minerals could potentially lead to supply chain vulnerabilities and even disruption of supplies. 2. Lithium, graphite, cobalt and titanium are considered as critical minerals. 3. Only metallic minerals are considered as critical minerals and not non-metallic minerals. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. B. Statement 3 is incorrect. Critical minerals. These are minerals that are essential for economic development and national security, and the lack of availability of these minerals or the concentration of extraction or processing in a few geographical locations could potentially lead to supply chain vulnerabilities and even disruption of supplies. This is true for minerals such as lithium, graphite, cobalt, titanium, and rare earth elements, which are essential for the advancement of many sectors, including high-tech electronics, telecommunications, transport, and defense. Australia refers to critical minerals as metals, non-metals and minerals that are considered vital for the economic well-being of the world's major and emerging economies, yet whose supply may be at risk due to geological scarcity, geopolitical issues, trade policy, or other factors. 27. 7. Consider the following statements. 1. Natural causes that trigger landslide include heavy rainfall, earthquakes, overgrazing by cattle and undercutting of slopes due to flooding. 2. Landslide Atlas of India was recently released by India Meteorological Department. 3. In India, RESOURCESAT-1 and 2 satellites were used to study the landslides over the past 25 years. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. A. Only statement 3 is correct. Indian Space Research Organisation ISRO recently released the Landslide Atlas of India, a detailed guide identifying landslide hotspots in the country. Landslides are natural disasters occurring mainly in mountainous terrains where there are conducive conditions of soil, rock, geology and slope. A sudden movement of rock, boulders, earth or debris down a slope is termed as a landslide. Natural causes that trigger it include heavy rainfall, earthquakes, snow melting and undercutting of slopes due to flooding. Landslides can also be caused by anthropogenic activities such as excavation, cutting of hills and trees, excessive infrastructure development, and overgrazing by cattle. 28. Landslides are broadly classified based on the type of materials involved: rock, debris, soil, loose mud, type of movement of the material, fall, topple, slide, rotational slide or translational slide, and type of flow of the material. Another category is of landslides that spread laterally. ISRO's National Remote Sensing Center, NRSC, Hyderabad, has created a database of landslide-prone regions of India based on events during 1998-2022, primarily along the Himalayas and the Western Ghats. In addition to aerial images, high-resolution satellite images captured using cameras Indian Remote Sensing IRS-1D, PAN plus LIS-3, satellites RESOURCESAT-1 and 2, etc. were used to study the landslides over the past 25 years. 8. Consider the following statements regarding Kaveri River. 1. Kaveri River is the largest river in southern India. 2. It is the largest river in the state of Tamil Nadu. 3. It originates in Karnataka and drains into the Bay of Bengal. 4. Himavati, Shimsa, and Harangi are the right bank tributaries of Kaveri River. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. Only 3. D. All 4. Solution. B. Statement 2 and 3 is correct. About Kaveri River. 29. It is the third largest river, after Godavari and Krishna, in southern India, and the largest in the state of Tamil Nadu, known as Ponni in Tamil. Originates in Karnataka, Talakaveri in the Brahmagiri range in the Western Ghats, Kodagu district, and eventually drains into the Bay of Bengal. Its left bank tributaries include Erkavati, Himavati, Shimsa, and Harangi, while right bank tributaries consist of Lakshman Tirtha, Suvarnavati, Noyal, Bhavani, Kabini, and Amravati. 9. Consider the following statements regarding Yarkovsky effect. 1. The Yarkovsky effect is a phenomenon in space where the way an asteroid absorbs and re-emits solar radiation can alter its trajectory over time. 2. Its effect can lead to significant changes in an asteroid's path. 3. It can influence asteroids' orbit and can pose collision risks with Earth. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. C. NASA's OSIRIS-REx mission successfully collected a sample from asteroid Bennu and is now on an extended mission to study Apophis. The mission was significant for understanding the early solar system, potential asteroid impacts, and the Yarkovsky effect on asteroids. What is the Yarkovsky effect? The Yarkovsky effect is a phenomenon in space where the way an asteroid absorbs and re-emits solar radiation can alter its trajectory over time. This effect can lead to small but significant changes in an asteroid's path, potentially influencing its orbit and posing collision risks with Earth. Usage. Scientists study the Yarkovsky effect to better understand and predict the movements of asteroids in our solar system. 30. Source. 10. Consider the following statements regarding lunar soil. 1. Lunar soil is not dusty but rather lumpy, indicating that something is binding the soil together. 2. Lunar soil is a thick layer of regolith, fragmental and unconsolidated rock material. 3. Lunar soil also contains organic matter. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. B. Statement 3 is incorrect. The Chandrayaan-3 rover, Pragyan, which has the Indian national emblem and the ISRO logo on its rear wheels, has been unable to leave a clear imprint of these symbols on the lunar soil. This inability to imprint the symbols has provided new insights into the properties of lunar soil in the South Pole region. Features of lunar soil. It is not dusty but rather lumpy, indicating that something is binding the soil together. Lunar soil is a thick layer of regolith, fragmental and unconsolidated rock material that covers the entire lunar surface. Lunar soil contains no organic matter. This discovery could have significant implications for future missions targeting lunar habitation and sustained human presence, especially in the context of potential water discovery in the region. Source. 11. Consider the following statements. 1. Countries near the equator do not experience high variations in daytime hours between seasons. 2. Daylight saving time (DST) is the practice of setting the clocks forward 1 hour from the standard time during autumn and back again in summer. 3. India officially follow daylight saving time in northeastern states during summer. How many of the above statements are correct? 31. A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. A. Only statement 1 is correct. Daylight saving time (DST) is the practice of setting the clocks forward 1 hour from the standard time during the summer and back again in the autumn. This is done to make better use of natural daylight. India does not follow daylight saving time as countries near the equator do not experience high variations in daytime hours between seasons. 12. Which of the following groups of planets are considered as gas giants in our solar system? A. Saturn, Mars, Jupiter, Neptune. B. Neptune, Uranus, Saturn, and Jupiter. C. Mars, Jupiter, Neptune, Uranus. D. Neptune, Saturn, Mars, Uranus. Solution. B. Gas giants are large planets composed mostly of gases, such as hydrogen and helium, with a relatively small rocky core. The gas giants of our solar system, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune, together make up a group known as the Jovian planets. 13. Consider the following statements. 1. Glaciers cover less than 1% of the Earth's land surface. 2. Retreating glaciers, like several in the Himalayas, usually result in the formation of lakes at their tips, often bound only by sediments and boulders. 3. The Glacial Lake Outburst Flood (GLOF) is not yet recognized as a disaster in the National Disaster Management Plan (NDMP) 2019 of India. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. A. Only statement 2 is correct. Glaciers cover around 10% of the Earth's land surface, but they are shrinking rapidly across most parts of the world, leading to cascading impacts on downstream systems. What is Glacial Lake Outburst Flood (GLOF)? Retreating glaciers, like several in the Himalayas, usually result in the formation of lakes at their tips, called proglacial lakes, often bound only by sediments and boulders. If the boundaries of these lakes are breached, it can lead to large amounts of water rushing down the way by picking up sediments, rocks, and other materials. A majority of the glaciers in the Himalayas are known to be receding, or leading to the formation of several glacial lakes. GLOFs are recognized in the National Disaster Management Plan (NDMP) 2019 of India as a potential climatological disaster. 32. Source. 14. Consider the following statements. 1. Teesta River is a tributary of the Ganga River and flows through India and Bangladesh. 2. Teesta River originates in the Himalayas near Chungthang, Sikkim. 3. Glacial lakes are formed due to glacier retreat and exist only for short period of time. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. A. Only statement 2 is correct. Glacial lakes are formed due to glacier retreat and hold valuable geological information, including fossils and landmass formation. These lakes can exist for thousands of years, storing information about past environmental changes. Teesta River is a tributary of the Brahmaputra which flows through India and Bangladesh. It originates in the Himalayas near Chungthang, Sikkim and flows to the south through West Bengal before entering Bangladesh. 15. Consider the following statements. 1. A gyre is a circular ocean current formed by Earth's wind patterns and the forces created by the rotation of the planet. 2. The North Pacific Subtropical Gyre (NPSG) consists of the Kuroshio, North Pacific, California, and North Equatorial currents. 3. The North Pacific Subtropical Gyre (NPSG) moves in anti-clockwise direction. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. B. Statement 3 is incorrect. There are some water currents in the oceans that, driven by winds and the Coriolis force, form loops. These are called gyres. The North Pacific Subtropical Gyre (NPSG) is one such, located just north of the equator in the Pacific Ocean. It consists of the Kuroshio, North Pacific, California, and North Equatorial currents and moves in a clockwise direction. These currents flow adjacent to 51 Pacific Rim countries. Any trash that enters one of these currents, from any of these countries, could become part of the gyre. 33. 4. Government schemes and programs. 1. Consider the following statements regarding Special Window for Affordable and Mid-Income Housing (SWAMIH) Investment Fund. 1. It is a social impact fund specifically formed for completing stressed and stalled residential projects. 2. The fund is sponsored by Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs (MOHA). 3. The fund considers first-time developers, established developers with troubled projects and even projects where there are litigation issues. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. B. Statement 2 is incorrect. The Special Window for Affordable and Mid-Income Housing (SWAMIH) Investment Fund is a social impact fund specifically formed for completing stressed and stalled residential projects. The fund is sponsored by the Ministry of Finance, Government of India, and is managed by SBICAP Ventures Limited, a state bank group company. Since the fund considers first-time developers, established developers with troubled projects, developers with a poor track record of stalled projects, customer complaints and NP accounts, and even projects where there are litigation issues, it is considered as the lender of last resort for distressed projects. The fund's presence in a project often acts as a catalyst for better collections and sales primarily in projects that were delayed for years. 2. Consider the following statements regarding Rashtriya Vigyan Puraskar. 1. Rashtriya Vigyan Puraskar aim to acknowledge exceptional contributions made by technologists and innovators, whether individually or in teams, across various domains of science and technology. 2. It is not open to individuals working in government sector. 3. People of Indian origin residing abroad whose contributions have benefited Indian society are eligible for the award. 4. It recognizes lifetime achievements and contributions in any field of science and technology. How many of the above statements are correct? 34. 35. A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. Only 3. D. All 4. Solution: C. Statement 2 is incorrect. The Government of India has introduced a new set of national awards in the field of science, technology, and innovation called Rashtriya Vigyan Puraskar. These awards aim to acknowledge exceptional contributions made by scientists, technologists, and innovators, whether individually or in teams, across various domains of science and technology. It is open to individuals working in government, private sector organizations, or independently, as well as to people of Indian origin residing abroad whose contributions have benefited Indian society. These awards are categorized as follows. Vigyan Ratna (VR) Award, recognizing lifetime achievements and contributions in any field of science and technology. Vigyan Shri (VS) Award, acknowledging distinguished contributions in any field of science and technology. Vigyan Yuva Shanti Swaroop Bhatnagar (VSSB) Award, encouraging young scientists under the age of 45 who have made exceptional contributions in any field of science and technology. Vigyan Team (VT) Award, presented to teams comprising 3 or more scientists, researchers, or innovators who have made exceptional contributions while working collaboratively in any field of science and technology. The Rashtriya Vigyan Puraskar covers 13 domains, including physics, chemistry, biological sciences, mathematics and computer science, earth science, medicine, engineering sciences, agricultural science, environmental science, technology and innovation, atomic energy, space science and technology, and others. Source. 3. Consider the following pairs regarding the government initiatives and its description. 1. PM Shri, provide high-quality education in schools with a focus on equity and inclusivity. 2. Nipan Bharat, promoting online education and digital learning through various platforms and resources. 3. NDEAR, capacity building program for teachers and school principals. How many of the above pairs are correctly matched? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution: A. Only statement 1 is correct. Major initiatives under NEP 2020 for all types of education are initiative description. PM Shri high quality education in schools with a focus on equity and inclusivity. Nipan Bharat universal acquisition of foundational literacy and numeracy by grade 3 by 2026-27. 36. PMA Vidya promoting online education and digital learning through various platforms and resources. NCFFS and Jadui Pitara. National curriculum framework for foundational stage and play based learning for ages 3 to 8. Nishtha capacity building program for teachers and school principals. NDEAR blueprint for digital technology based education applications. Academic frameworks. Introduction of National Credit Framework (NCRF) and National Higher Education Qualification Framework (NHEQF). 4. Consider the following statements regarding Prevention of Money Laundering Act, 2002 PMLA. 1. The PMLA is in line with India's global commitment to combat money laundering, particularly related to crimes involving drugs and narcotics. 2. The Act imposes obligation on banking companies and financial institutions to verify identity of clients, maintain records and furnish information in prescribed form to Financial Intelligence Unit India (FUINT). 3. One of its objectives is to confiscate and seize the property obtained from the laundered money. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution: C. The PMLA was enacted in 2002 in line with India's global commitment to combat money laundering, particularly related to crimes involving drugs and narcotics. The PMLA seeks to combat money laundering in India and has 3 main objectives: to prevent and control money laundering, to confiscate and seize the property obtained from the laundered money, and to deal with any other issue connected with money laundering in India. The Act and rules notified thereunder impose obligation on banking companies, financial institutions and intermediaries to verify identity of clients, maintain records and furnish information in prescribed form to Financial Intelligence Unit India (FUINT). 5. India has achieved a significant sanitation milestone under the Swachh Bharat Mission, Gramin, Phase 2. In this context, consider the following pairs. 1. ODF status, not a single person found defecating in open. 2. ODF plus status, all conditions of ODF in toilets with sludge and septage management. 3. ODF plus status, all wastewater is being treated as per CPCB norms before release. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution: A. Only statement 1 is correct. Source. 6. Consider the following statements regarding Foreign Contribution Regulation Act. 1. FCRA was enacted during the emergency in 1976. 2. The law allows foreign donations to only associations and not to individuals. 3. NGOs and associations registered to receive foreign contributions must declare details of movable and immovable assets created using those contributions. 37. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution: B. Statement 2 is incorrect. Under the Foreign Contribution Regulation Act (FCRA), NGOs and associations registered to receive foreign contributions must now annually declare details of movable and immovable assets created using those contributions. FCRA was enacted during the emergency in 1976 amid apprehensions that foreign powers were interfering in India's affairs by pumping money into the country through independent organizations. The law sought to regulate foreign donations to individuals and associations so that they functioned in a manner consistent with the values of a sovereign democratic republic. Source. 7. The Foreign Contribution Regulation Act (FCRA) requires every person or go seeking to receive foreign donations to be 1. Registered under the Act. 2. Open a bank account for the receipt of the foreign funds in Reserve Bank of India, Delhi. 3. Utilize those funds only for the purpose for which they have been received and is stipulated in the Act. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution: B. Statement 2 is incorrect. FCRA was enacted during the emergency in 1976 amid apprehensions that foreign powers were interfering in India's affairs by pumping money into the country through independent organizations. The law sought to regulate foreign donations to individuals and associations so that they function in a manner consistent with the values of a sovereign democratic republic. Broadly, the FCRA requires every person or go seeking to receive foreign donations to be I. Registered under the Act, E. to open a bank account for the receipt of the foreign funds in State Bank of India, Delhi, and E. to utilize those funds only for the purpose for which they have been received and is stipulated in the Act. 8. Consider the following pairs. 1. National Social Assistance Program (NSAP) offers non-contributory pensions for the elderly, widowed women, and disabled individuals. 2. Pradhan Mantri Vaya Vandana Yojana (PMVVY) exclusive pension scheme for senior citizens aged 60 and above. 3. Integrated program for older persons (IPOP) provides basic amenities such as food, shelter, medical care, and entertainment opportunities for senior citizens. 4. Rashtriya Vayoshri Yojana provides aids and assistive living devices to elderly BPL individuals with age-related disabilities. 38. 39. How many of the above pairs are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. Only 3. D. All 4. Solution D. Government scheme for old age scheme about National Social Assistance Program (NSAP) offers non-contributory pensions for the elderly, widowed women, and disabled individuals. Administered by the Ministry of Rural Development. Pradhan Mantri Vaya Vandana Yojana (PMVVY) exclusive pension scheme for senior citizens aged 60 and above. Extended up to 2023 for 3 more years beyond 2020. Integrated program for older persons (IPOP) aims to enhance the quality of life for senior citizens by providing basic amenities such as food, shelter, medical care, and entertainment opportunities. Rashtriya Vayoshri Yojana. Central sector scheme funded by the Senior Citizens Welfare Fund. Provides aids and assistive living devices to elderly BPL individuals with age-related disabilities. Sampan Project. Launched in 2018, an online pension processing system for Department of Telecommunications pensioners. Direct credit of pension into bank accounts of pensioners. Sacred portal for elderly. Developed by the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. Citizens above 60 can register to find jobs and work opportunities and access information and guidance on various issues. Elderline, toll-free number for elderly provides information, guidance, emotional support, and immediate assistance for elderly citizens, particularly on pension, medical, and legal matters. SAGE, Senior Care Aging Growth Engine Initiative, a platform offering access to elderly care products and services by credible startups, supporting entrepreneurship in the field of elderly care. 9. Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, TRAI, issues orders and directions on subjects such as 1. Direct-to-home (DTH) services. 2. Increasing broadband penetration in India. 3. Mobile number portability. 4. Tariff. Select the correct answer code. A. 1, 2, 3. B. 1, 3, 4. C. 2, 3, 4. D. 1, 2, 3, 4. Solution D. TRAI regularly issues orders and directions on various subjects such as tariffs, interconnections, quality of service, direct-to-home (DTH) services, and mobile number portability. 10. Consider the following statements regarding RoDTEP scheme. 1. The RoDTEP scheme provides exporters with refunds for taxes, duties, and levies incurred during the manufacturing and distribution of goods. 2. The Merchandise Exports from India scheme (MEIS) replaced the RoDTEP scheme. Which of the above statements are correct? A. 1 only. B. 2 only. C. Both 1 and 2. D. Neither 1 nor 2. Solution A. The Indian government has announced the extension of export benefits under the scheme for remission of duties and taxes on exported products (RoDTEP) for an additional year until June 2024. The RoDTEP scheme provides exporters with refunds for taxes, duties, and levies incurred during the manufacturing and distribution of goods, which are not reimbursed through other mechanisms at the central, state, or local levels. This move is expected to assist the exporting community in negotiating international export contracts under the current global economic conditions. The RoDTEP scheme replaced the Merchandise Exports from India scheme (MEIS), which concluded the previous year. Source. 11. Consider the following statements. 1. Under Pradhan Mantri TB Mukt Bharat Abhiyan, India aims at eliminating TB by 2025. 2. National TB Elimination Program (NTEP) covers TB patients from both the public and the private sector. 3. Nikshay Mitra is a government project that enables people to adopt tuberculosis patients and take care of their nutritional and medical requirements. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution C. The Health Ministry's unique Adopt a TB Patient Nikshay Mitra's initiative, probably the only one of its kind in the world. The program was brought in to fill the critical community elements into India's fight towards the Pradhan Mantri TB Mukt Bharat Abhiyan aimed at eliminating TB by 2025. Nikshay Mitra donor for this program includes cooperative societies, corporates, elected representatives, individuals, institutions, non-governmental organizations, political parties, and partners who can support by adopting the health facilities for individual donor blocks, urban wards, districts, states for accelerating the response against TB to complement the government efforts as per the district-specific requirements in coordination with the district administration. Free diagnostics, free drugs, and Nikshay Poshan Yojana provided by the National TB Elimination Program (NTEP) to all the TB patients notified from both the public and the private sector. 12. Consider the following statements. 41. IGMS 2.0 is an artificial intelligence (AI) driven system that aims to enhance the efficiency of the public grievance redressal process. 2. IGMS 2.0 was launched by NITI Aayog. 3. CPGRAMS is an online platform available 24/7 for citizens to lodge grievances related to service delivery. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution B. Statement 2 is incorrect. The Department of Administrative Reforms and Public Grievances (DARPG), Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievances and Pensions launched IGMS 2.0. Public Grievance Portal and Automated Analysis in Tree Dashboard Portal. What is Intelligent Grievance Monitoring System (IGMS 2.0)? IGMS is an artificial intelligence (AI) driven grievance monitoring system. It aims to enhance the efficiency of the public grievance redressal process. About CPGRAMS. CPGRAMS is an online platform available 24/7 for citizens to lodge grievances related to service delivery. It connects all ministries, departments of the Government of India and states and offers role-based access. Citizens can track grievance status using a unique registration ID and use the appeal facility if not satisfied with the resolution by the grievance officer. Close to 20 lakh grievances are received annually on the CPGRAMS portal. CPGRAMS is now available in 22 scheduled languages. Special Campaign 3.0. The campaign has made a significant impact, clearing office space and promoting the office work culture. Source. 13. Consider the following statements regarding India's foreign trade policy 2023. 1. The foreign trade policy 2023 is dynamic and has been kept open-ended to accommodate the emerging needs of the time. 2. It is based on principles of trust and partnership with exporters. 3. It introduced a one-time amnesty scheme for exporters to close the old pending authorizations and start afresh. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. C. Foreign Trade Policy 2023 is a policy document which is based on continuity of time-tested schemes facilitating exports as well as a document which is nimble and responsive to the requirements of trade. It is based on principles of trust and partnership with exporters. Foreign Trade Policy 2023 is dynamic and has been kept open-ended to accommodate the emerging needs of the time. 41. The FTP 2023 aims at process re-engineering and automation to facilitate ease of doing business for exporters. It also focuses on emerging areas like dual-use high-end technology items under SCOMET, facilitating e-commerce export, collaborating with states and districts for export promotion. The new FTP is introducing a one-time amnesty scheme for exporters to close the old pending authorizations and start afresh. Source. 14. Consider the following statements regarding export promotion of capital goods EPCG scheme. 1. The Foreign Trade Policy 2023 is facilitating exports by streamlining the EPCG scheme. 2. The EPCG scheme prohibits the import of capital goods into India. 3. Battery electric vehicles BEV of all types are eligible for reduced export obligation requirement under EPCG scheme. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. B. Statement 2 is incorrect. Facilitation under export promotion of capital goods EPCG scheme. The EPCG scheme, which allows import of capital goods at zero customs duty for export production, is being further rationalized. Some key changes being added are: Prime Minister Mega Integrated Textile Region and Apparel Parks PM Mitra scheme has been added as an additional scheme eligible to claim benefits under CSP, Common Service Provider, Scheme of Export Promotion Capital Goods Scheme EPCG. Dairy sector to be exempted from maintaining average export obligation to support dairy sector to upgrade the technology. Battery electric vehicles BEV of all types, vertical farming equipment, wastewater treatment and recycling, rainwater harvesting system and rainwater filters, and green hydrogen are added to green technology products will now be eligible for reduced export obligation requirement under EPCG scheme. Source. 15. Consider the following statements. 1. The government has the power to control the prices of certain medicines, those needed in public interest, through the Drug Prices Control Order. 2. The patented drugs are not included in the National List of Essential Medicines (NLEM). 3. Once a drug is included in the National List of Essential Medicines (NLEM), its prices are controlled by the central government and cannot be changed by companies themselves. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. B. Statement 2 is incorrect. 42. The government has the power to control the prices of certain medicines, those needed in public interest, through the Drug Prices Control Order. The National List of Essential Medicines forms the primary basis for considering a drug as essential and controlling its prices. Additionally, the prices of drugs other than those included in the NLEM may also be controlled through the DPCO. Once a drug is included in the NLEM, its prices are controlled by the central government and cannot be changed by companies themselves. The NLEM 2022 has also included at least 4 drugs that are still under patent. 5. Science and technology. 1. Consider the following statements regarding perovskite solar cells. 1. Perovskite solar cells are cheaper, lighter, and more efficient than traditional silicon-based cells. 2. These solar cells overcome the challenges of degradation during operation, making them suitable for large-scale commercialization. 3. They face stability issues when exposed to heat, moisture, and other environmental factors. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. C. Perovskite solar cells are cheaper, lighter, and more efficient than traditional silicon-based cells. These solar cells overcome the challenges of degradation during operation, making them suitable for larger-scale commercialization. Perovskite solar cells (PSCs) face stability issues when exposed to heat, moisture, and other environmental factors. 2. The hydrogen bomb and uranium bomb are based respectively on a fission and thermonuclear fusion. B. Geothermal fusion and fission. C. Nuclear fusion and fission. D. Geothermal fission and fusion. Solution. C. All existing nuclear weapons derive some of their explosive energy from nuclear fission reactions. Weapons whose explosive output is exclusively from fission reactions are commonly referred to as atomic bombs or atom bombs. In fission weapons, a mass of fissile material, enriched uranium or plutonium, is forced into supercriticality, allowing an exponential growth of nuclear chain reaction. Fusion weapons are generally referred to as thermonuclear weapons or more colloquially as hydrogen bombs, abbreviated as H-bombs, as they rely on fusion reactions between isotopes of hydrogen, deuterium and tritium. 3. Consider the following statements regarding geospatial intelligence. 1. It is the collection and integration of data from satellites, sensors, and aerial images to create real-time maps and simulations. 43. 2. It aids in identifying and managing threats, supporting emergency response and environmental monitoring. 3. Geospatial technology uses tools like GPS, global positioning system, and remote sensing for geographic mapping and analysis of geospatial data. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. C. What is geospatial intelligence? It is the collection and integration of data from various technologies like satellites, sensors, and aerial images to create real-time maps and simulations. It aids in identifying and managing threats, supporting emergency response, environmental monitoring, logistics, and more. Geospatial technology uses tools like GIS, Geographic Information System, GPS, Global Positioning System, and remote sensing for geographic mapping and analysis of geospatial data. Source. 4. Consider the following statements. 1. It requires both renewable electricity and deionized water to produce green hydrogen. 44. 2. Council of Scientific and Industrial Research (CSIR) introduced India's first green hydrogen-powered bus. 3. Green hydrogen-powered bus emits only water vapor as its byproduct. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. B. Statement 2 is incorrect. Indian Oil Corporation (IOC) has introduced India's first green hydrogen-powered bus, which emits only water vapor as its byproduct. Green hydrogen is an environmentally friendly option as it only emits water vapor when burned and has 3 times the energy density of other fuels. It requires 50 units of renewable electricity and 9 kilograms of deionized water to produce 1 kilogram of green hydrogen. Source. 5. Aspartame, recently seen in news, is mainly used as a biofertilizer. B. Antimicrobial substance. C. Rare earth element. D. Artificial sweetener. Solution. D. Aspartame is one of the world's most common artificial sweeteners and is used in a wide range of diet soft drinks, sugar-free chewing gum, sugar-free ice cream, sugar-free breakfast cereals, etc. 6. Consider the following statements regarding CRISPR technology. 1. CRISPR technology mainly involved the introduction of a new gene from outside. 2. A special protein called Cas9 is used to break the DNA strand at specific points and remove the bad sequence. Which of the above statements are incorrect? A. 1 only. B. 2 only. C. Both 1 and 2. D. Neither 1 nor 2. Solution. A. CRISPR is short for clustered regularly interspaced short palindromic repeats, which is a reference to the clustered and repetitive sequences of DNA found in bacteria, whose natural mechanism to fight some viral diseases is replicated in this gene editing tool. It is simple and still far more accurate, and it does not involve the introduction of any new gene from the outside. A bad stretch in the DNA sequence, which is the cause of disease or disorder, is located, cut, and removed, and then replaced with a correct sequence. And the tools used to achieve this are not mechanical, but biochemical, specific protein and RNA molecules. The technology replicates a natural defense mechanism in some bacteria that uses a similar method to protect itself from virus attacks. 45. The first task is to identify the particular sequence of genes that is the cause of the trouble. Once that is done, an RNA molecule is programmed to locate the sequence on the DNA strand, just like the find or search function on a computer. After this, a special protein called Cas9, which is often described as genetic scissors, is used to break the DNA strand at specific points and remove the bad sequence. A DNA strand, when broken, has a natural tendency to reattach and heal itself. But if the auto-repair mechanism is allowed to continue, the bad sequence can regrow. So, scientists intervene during the auto-repair process by supplying the correct sequence of genetic codes, which attaches to the broken DNA strand. 7. Consider the following statements. 1. A qubit is the basic unit of information in quantum computing. 2. Quantum computing utilizes quantum mechanics to solve complex problems faster than classical computers. 3. Flexonium is a new type of superconducting qubit that can perform operations between qubits with greater accuracy, but has a shorter lifespan than traditional superconducting qubits. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. B. Statement 3 is incorrect. Researchers at MIT have made significant progress in developing a novel superconducting qubit architecture that can perform operations between qubits with much greater accuracy than previously achieved. They used a relatively new type of superconducting qubit called flexonium, which has a longer lifespan than traditional superconducting qubits. Flexonium is a type of qubit, quantum bit, that is based on operations at important junctions in a superconducting circuit. Quantum computing is a multidisciplinary field that utilizes quantum mechanics to solve complex problems faster than classical computers. A qubit is the basic unit of information in quantum computing source. 8. Consider the following statements regarding human immunodeficiency virus, HIV. 1. HIV is an infection that attacks the immune system by producing more white blood cells called CD4 cells. 2. Typically, the time between HIV transmission and AIDS diagnosis is 10 to 15 years, although it may occur sooner. 3. HIV does not spread through breast milk from an infected mother to child. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. A. Only statement 2 is correct. 46. Human immunodeficiency virus or HIV is an infection that attacks the immune system by destroying the body's immune cells called CD4, which help it respond to infection. Once HIV attacks the CD4 cells, it starts replicating and destroying the cells, weakening the body's immune system and making it more prone to certain, opportunistic infections that take advantage of the weak immune system. Bodily fluids such as blood, semen, vaginal fluids, rectal fluids and breast milk can be carriers for HIV. It can be transmitted through unprotected sex, transfusion of contaminated blood, sharing needles and syringes, and from a mother with HIV to her infant during pregnancy. Typically, the time between HIV transmission and AIDS diagnosis is 10 to 15 years, although it may occur sooner. Source. 9. Consider the following pairs. 1. Green ammonia, made from sustainable electricity and water. 2. Brown ammonia, made from a fossil fuel with carbon capture. 3. Blue ammonia, made without using any fossil fuel. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. A. Only statement 1 is correct. Source. 10. Consider the following statements. 1. Rough diamonds are uncut, unpolished, and unprocessed diamonds in their natural form. 2. Rough diamonds are mined from the earth or extracted from other sources like alluvial deposits. 3. The Kimberley process is an international certification scheme that regulates trade in rough diamonds. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. C. 47. The Kimberley process is an international certification scheme that regulates trade in rough diamonds. It aims to prevent the flow of conflict diamonds while helping to protect legitimate trade in rough diamonds. Rough diamonds are uncut, unpolished, and unprocessed diamonds in their natural form as they are mined from the earth or extracted from other sources like alluvial deposits. Source. 11. Consider the following statements regarding cookies. 1. Cookies are a vital component of the digital world that remember login information, preferences, and interactions on websites. 2. Cookies enable personalization, as seen on platforms like Amazon, which use them to provide tailored product recommendations and shopping cart persistence. 3. India's Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023 does not mandate explicit user consent for data collection via cookies. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. B. Statement 3 is incorrect. Cookies are a vital component of the digital world, enhancing online experiences by remembering login information, preferences, and interactions on websites. Cookies come in various types, including session cookies, temporary, persistent cookies, long-lasting, secure cookies, encrypted, and third-party cookies from domains other than the visited site. Benefits. They are like keys to a secure club, granting seamless access to websites. Cookies enable personalization, as seen on platforms like Amazon, which use them to provide tailored product recommendations and shopping cart persistence. India's Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023 mandates explicit user consent for data collection via cookies. Source. 12. Which of the following are the objectives and significance of NASA's OSIRIS-REx mission? 1. Study the near-Earth asteroid Bennu. 2. Study the solar system. 3. Space exploration. 4. Investigate the resource potential of asteroids for future space mining activities. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. Only 3. D. All 4. Solution. D. 48. 13. Consider the following statements regarding generative AI. 1. Generative AI, Gen AI, is a type of artificial intelligence that can create a wide variety of data, such as images, videos, audio, text, and 3D models. 2. ChatGPT, a chatbot developed by OpenAI, runs on generative AI. 3. Gen AI is capable of producing highly realistic and complex content that mimics human creativity. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. C. Generative AI, Gen AI, is a type of artificial intelligence that can create a wide variety of data, such as images, videos, audio, text, and 3D models. It does this by learning patterns from existing data, then using this knowledge to generate new and unique outputs. Gen AI is capable of producing highly realistic and complex content that 49. Mimics human creativity, making it a valuable tool for many industries such as gaming, entertainment, and product design. The most famous generative AI application is ChatGPT, a chatbot that Microsoft-backed OpenAI released late last year. 14. Consider the following statements regarding rabies. 1. Rabies is a zoonotic viral disease. 2. At present, there is no vaccine for rabies. 3. With the exception of Antarctica, rabies is endemic on all continents. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. B. Statement 2 is incorrect. Rabies is a zoonotic disease, a disease that is transmitted from animals to humans caused by the rabies virus. Of the Lyssavirus genus, within the family Rhabdoviridae, domestic dogs are the most common reservoir of the virus, with more than 99% of human deaths caused by dog-mediated rabies. Rabies is a 100% vaccine-preventable disease. Countries embarking on rabies elimination programs have successfully experienced marked reductions, often progressing to the elimination of rabies. Elimination programs often revolve around mass dog vaccination campaigns, where at least 70% of the dog population should be covered in order to break the cycle of transmission in dogs and to humans. With the exception of Antarctica, rabies is endemic on all continents. Of the tens of thousands of deaths occurring annually due to rabies, 95% of cases are reported in Asia and Africa. 15. Consider the following statements regarding dark sky reserve. 1. A dark sky reserve has distinguished nocturnal environment that has been developed responsibly to prevent light pollution. 2. The International Dark Sky Association, IDA, is the recognized authority on light pollution and is the leading organization combating light pollution worldwide. 3. China has the maximum number of dark sky reserves in the world. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. B. Statement 3 is incorrect. A dark sky reserve is public or private land with a distinguished nocturnal environment and starry nights that has been developed responsibly to prevent light pollution. Individuals or groups can nominate a site for certification to the International Dark Sky Association, IDSA. There are 5 designated categories, namely international dark sky parks, communities, reserves, sanctuaries, and urban night sky places. 50. The certification process is similar to that of a site being awarded the UNESCO World Heritage Site tag or getting recognized as a biosphere reserve. Between 2001 and January 2022, there have been 195 sites recognized as international dark sky places globally, the IDSA said. 16. Consider the following statements regarding electrons. 1. The electron is a subatomic particle with a negative elementary electric charge. 2. Electrons move so slowly that capturing them requires long pulses of light. Which one of the following is correct in respect of the above statements? A. Both statement I and statement 2 are correct and statement 2 is the correct explanation for statement I. B. Both statement I and statement 2 are correct and statement 2 is not the correct explanation for statement I. C. Statement I is correct but statement 2 is incorrect. D. Statement I is incorrect but statement 2 is correct. Solution. C. The electron is a subatomic particle with a negative elementary electric charge. Electrons' rapid movement made them challenging to study directly. Scientists had to rely on averaging their properties. Electrons move so quickly that capturing them requires extremely short pulses of light such as attosecond. Electron dynamics occur on the attosecond timescale, which is a billionth of a second, 1 times 10 minus 18 of a second, much faster than femtoseconds, a millionth of a second, associated with atomic movements. 51. 52. 17. Consider the following statements regarding quantum dots. 1. Quantum dots are tiny particles, just a few nanometers in size, with unique optical properties. 2. While their atomic structure is the same as bulk materials, quantum dots' properties can be altered by adjusting their size. 3. At the nanoscale, they exhibit size-dependent characteristics influenced by quantum forces. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. C. Quantum dots are tiny particles, just a few nanometers in size, with unique optical properties due to their small size. While their atomic structure is the same as bulk materials, quantum dots' properties can be altered by adjusting their size. At the nanoscale, these particles exhibit size-dependent characteristics influenced by quantum forces, which differ from macroscopic physics governed by gravity. 18. Which of the following are the applications of quantum dots? 1. Enhance display quality in QLED screens. 2. Targeted drug delivery for therapy. 3. Improve solar cell efficiency. 4. Anti-counterfeit markers on currency and documents. 5. Adjust the color temperature in LED lamps. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 2. B. Only 3. C. Only 4. D. All 5. Solution. D. Applications of quantum dots. Application description examples: display technology, enhance display quality in QLED screens. Samsung QLED TVs lighting, adjust the color temperature in LED lamps. Nanoco LED lighting solutions. Biomedical imaging, map cells and organs for research and diagnostics. Quantum dots for cancer. Imaging. Drug delivery, targeted drug delivery for therapy. Quantum dots for drug delivery. Photovoltaics, improve solar cell efficiency. Quantum dot solar cell sensing in. Detection, detect and measure specific substances. Quantum dot sensors. Quantum computing. Quantum bits, qubits in quantum computing. Quantum dot based qubits, security marking, anti-counterfeit markers on currency and documents. Security applications. 19. Consider the following statements. 1. Tuberculosis is a viral infection. 2. Chest X-ray screening can be used to detect tuberculosis. 3. Tuberculosis is not curable but preventable. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution. A. Only statement 2 is correct. Tuberculosis (TB) is caused by bacteria, Mycobacterium tuberculosis, that most often affect the lungs. Tuberculosis is curable and preventable. TB is spread from person to person through the air. When people with lung TB cough, sneeze or speed, they propel the TB germs into the air. A person needs to inhale only a few of these germs to become infected. Microbiological confirmation on sputum, chest X-ray screening etc. are some of the methods used to screen TB. Sputum tests are very important in diagnosing TB, so paying attention to the detail of collecting a good sputum sample is very important. 6. International relations and organizations. 1. Consider the following statements regarding Five Eyes Alliance. 1. The Five Eyes Alliance refers to an intelligence sharing partnership among 5 countries. 2. The alliance traces its origins back to World War II. 3. India and United States are part of the alliance. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution: B. Statement 3 is incorrect. Five Eyes Alliance. The Five Eyes Alliance refers to an intelligence sharing partnership among 5 countries: the United States, the United Kingdom, Australia, Canada, and New Zealand. These nations collaborate closely on intelligence matters, sharing information to protect their shared national interests. Origins of the alliance. The alliance traces its origins back to World War II when the UK and the US decided to share intelligence after successfully breaking German and Japanese codes. Source: 2. Consider the following statements. 1. Khanij Bidesh India Limited Kabil is a joint venture company that is focused on identifying and acquiring strategic minerals overseas for India's use. 2. Argentina is part of the lithium triangle and holds the world's largest lithium reserve. 3. India is part of the Mineral Security Partnership MSP, which aims to strengthen critical mineral supply chains. 53. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution: B. Statement 2 is incorrect. Argentina, as part of the lithium triangle, along with Chile and Bolivia, is a significant producer of lithium, holding the world's third largest lithium reserve. Kabil is a joint venture involving NALCO, MPCL, and HCL, and is focused on identifying and acquiring strategic minerals overseas for India's use. It is also exploring opportunities for lithium partnerships and acquisitions in other Latin American nations like Chile and Brazil, as well as in Australia for lithium and cobalt exploration. India just joined the Mineral Security Partnership MSP as the newest partner, which aims to strengthen critical mineral supply chains. Source: 3. Consider the following statements regarding India UN Capacity Building Initiative. 1. The initiative aims to share India's development experiences, best practices, and expertise with partner countries in the global south. 2. The initiative replaces the India UN Development Partnership Fund. 3. The initiative will operationalize the development-related goals of India's G20 presidency. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution: B. Statement 2 is incorrect. India and the United Nations have jointly launched the India UN Capacity Building Initiative, which aims to share India's development experiences, best practices, and expertise with partner countries in the global south through capacity building and training programs. This initiative builds upon India's extensive cooperation in development and capacity building with partner countries. The initiative complements the existing India UN partnership through the India UN Development Partnership Fund. The initiative will operationalize the development-related goals of India's G20 presidency, including the G20 Action Plan for Accelerating Progress on the Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs) and building digital public infrastructure. Source: 4. Consider the following statements. 1. The Bureau of Indian Standards (BIS) does not deal with developing standards on biofuels. 2. The G7 leaders launched the Global Biofuel Alliance (GBA) that aims to facilitate the adoption of biofuels worldwide. 3. India, USA, and Brazil are the major producers and consumers of biofuels globally. 54. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution: A. Only statement 3 is correct. The Bureau of Indian Standards (BIS) has announced that Indian standards on biofuels will significantly support the objectives of the Global Biofuel Alliance (GBA). BIS has developed 9 Indian standards on biofuels, including specifications for anhydrous ethanol, biodiesel, biogas, biodiesel diesel fuel blends, hydrous ethanol, E85 fuel, E20 fuel, aviation turbine fuel containing synthesized hydrocarbons, and ethanol as a fuel for spark ignition engine-powered vehicles. Additionally, BIS is working on a standard for paraffinic green diesel derived from 2G feedstock. The G20 leaders launched the GBA during the 18th G20 summit in New Delhi, and it aims to facilitate the adoption of biofuels worldwide. India, the USA, and Brazil are major producers and consumers of biofuels, contributing significantly to the global ethanol market. Source: 5. The Astana Declaration of 2018 is related to intellectual property rights. B. LGBT rights. C. Strengthen primary healthcare. D. Rights of indigenous peoples. Solution: C. In October 2018, 120 UN member countries signed the Astana Declaration, vowing to strengthen primary healthcare and achieve universal health coverage by 2030. This is the second time the world took this pledge. In 1978, 134 nations signed the Alma-Ata Declaration with the same pledge. Though Alma-Ata was signed to ensure health for all, its progress was uneven, with several countries missing out on several indicators set under the declaration. 6. Consider the following statements regarding United Nations Population Fund (UNFPA). 1. It is dedicated to enhancing global reproductive and maternal health. 2. It is a key member of the United Nations Development Group, focusing on achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. 3. UNFPA has been operating in India since its inception. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution: B. Statement 3 is incorrect. UNFPA, United Nations Population Fund. It is an agency founded 1969, HQ, New York, dedicated to enhancing global reproductive and maternal health. It works on national healthcare strategies, access to birth control, and campaigns against child marriage. 55. Gender-based violence, obstetric fistula, and female genital mutilation. Operating in over 144 countries across 4 regions, it's a key member of the United Nations Development Group, focusing on achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. UNFPA has been operating in India since 1974. 7. Consider the following statements regarding 7. Consider the following statements regarding Breakthrough Agenda Report 2023. 1. Breakthrough Agenda Report 2023 focuses on strengthening international cooperation to accelerate the reduction of global greenhouse gas emissions. 2. The report evaluates progress made since 2022 in priority areas for global collaboration. 3. The report is released by United Nations Environment Programme (UNEP). How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution: B. Statement 3 is incorrect. The Breakthrough Agenda Report 2023 is an annual collaboration between the International Energy Agency (IEA), the International Renewable Energy Agency (IRENA), and the United Nations Climate Change High-Level Champions. Its focus is on strengthening international cooperation to accelerate the reduction of global greenhouse gas emissions. The report evaluates progress made since 2022 in priority areas for global collaboration. It offers recommendations for countries to work together in these sectors to reduce emissions over the next decade and mitigate the worst effects of climate change. Source: 8. Jabalia refugee camp was recently seen in news. Jabalia is located in Turkey. B. Lebanon. C. Ethiopia. D. Gaza Strip. Solution: D. The Jabalia refugee camp is in the North Gaza Governorate, Gaza Strip. Source: 9. Consider the following statements regarding International Tunneling and Underground Space Association (ITER). 1. International Tunneling and Underground Space Association (ITER) is a United Nations organization that facilitates the development of sustainable and innovative solutions for optimized, safe and equitable use of underground space. 2. India is not a member nation of ITER. Which of the above statements are correct? A. 1 only. B. 2 only. C. Both 1 and 2. D. Neither 1 nor 2. Solution: D. 56. Founded in 1974 by the initiative of 19 nations, the International Tunneling and Underground Space Association (ITER) mission is to lead, advocate and facilitate the development of sustainable and innovative solutions for increased, optimized, safe and equitable use of underground space, enabling the tunneling industry and its stakeholders to excel in delivering technical knowledge in the field of tunneling and underground space through publication of guidelines, training, and creating platforms for exchanging information and ideas. Best practices in health and safety, planning, engineering, contracting, construction, operation, and maintenance. The tools to empower decision makers and allied professionals to make informed choices about the underground. Reliable and economical underground solutions to urbanization and environmental challenges. Efficient and resilient underground infrastructure for current and future generations. Since then, ITER has considerably developed. Presently, ITER gathers 79 member nations and 219 corporate or individual affiliate members. India is a member nation of ITER. Source: 10. Consider the following statements regarding Indo-Pacific Maritime Domain Awareness (IPMDA) initiative. 1. The Indo-Pacific Maritime Domain Awareness (IPMDA) initiative was announced by G20. 2. IPMDA seeks to establish a comprehensive system for monitoring and securing maritime activities in the Indo-Pacific region. 3. IPMDA aims to ensure the safety of critical sea lines of communication and promoting cooperation among like-minded nations in the Indo-Pacific region. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution: B. Statement 1 is incorrect. The IPMDA was announced by the Quad grouping, comprising India, Australia, Japan and US, at the Tokyo Summit in early 2022 to track dark shipping and build a faster, wider, and more accurate maritime picture of near real-time activities in partners' waters, integrating 3 critical regions in the Indo-Pacific, the Pacific Islands, Southeast Asia, and the IA. This initiative, IPMDA, seeks to establish a comprehensive system for monitoring and securing maritime activities in the Indo-Pacific, ensuring the safety of critical sea lines of communication, and promoting cooperation among like-minded nations in the region. Source: 11. Consider the following statements regarding United Nations Convention Against Transnational Organized Crimes, UNTOC. 1. The United Nations Convention Against Transnational Organized Crime, UNTOC, is a legally non-binding instrument adopted by the UN General Assembly. 2. It is the first comprehensive treaty aimed at combating human trafficking, migrant smuggling, and illicit firearms trafficking. 3. Central Bureau of Investigation acts as the national nodal authority from India. How many of the above statements are correct? 57. A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Solution: B. Statement 1 is incorrect. The United Nations Convention Against Transnational Organized Crime, UNTOC, is a global and legally binding instrument adopted by the UN General Assembly in 2000 and enforced in 2003. It is the first comprehensive treaty aimed at combating transnational organized crime including human trafficking, migrant smuggling, and illicit firearms trafficking. Currently, there are 191 parties to the convention, including India, who joined it in 2002 and ratified it in 2011. Central Bureau of Investigation acts as the national nodal authority from India. India also enacted the Criminal Law Amendment Act in 2013, which specifically defines human trafficking. Source: